Friday, April 24th. Today, watching and waiting how communities in the Interlake are responding as rising water threatens to break their banks. Also today, a paramedic shortage in Manitoba, why health groups are raising alarm over the high number of vacancies for rural paramedics. Plus, the summer of staycations, how some Manitobans are adjusting their travel plans as the cost of air travel is soaring and some airlines are dropping flights. Your Morning Winnipeg starts right now. Good morning, Manitoba. Happy Friday to you. We've made it to the end of the week. We are here. And if you're looking for something fun to do indoors, you like hot rods perhaps, Tandy Vera is live at the Red River Exhibition Place. That is where Rodorama is going to be this year. 25th anniversary, some beautiful cars. She's going to give us a tour and show us some of the vehicles. And the best part is it's for a great cause for children. So we're going to tell you more about that. But the weather, waking up this morning, it's cold again.
Oh my goodness. Yesterday evening, the way those temperatures dropped off and the winds, they were really increasing. It kind of was. Now, again, what we're experiencing here throughout the south is nothing compared to what northern Manitoba is waking up to this morning. So we are still lucking in. And in fact, the 1 degree, even though we're talking about how cool it feels, well, that's because yesterday morning it was 14 degrees and that was a normal daytime high. 1 is actually a seasonal low temperature. So we're just kind of falling back to that. But you will notice that wind, 24 kilometers per hour. It's out of the west-southwest. The pressure is rising and the humidity is sitting at 72%. So as far as the conditions go today, we will perhaps enjoy a fair bit of sunshine for southern Manitoba. Once again, though, through northern Manitoba, that's where the precipitation will be today. It's still kind of doing a bit of this wraparound element. And so as a result, much of northern Manitoba will deal with either freezing rain, that's the pink that you're seeing, or the straight up snow. Now, as far as the warnings in place, it's still a blizzard warning through the north. This part of kind of the central northern part of the province under the freezing rain warning. And then there is the winter storm warning. But basically all of the numbers are looking still very similar to what we talked about yesterday. 50 perhaps once it's all said and done, 15 centimeters, I should mention that's centimeters, 30 to 50 centimeters, 15 centimeters, or about 5 millimeters of ice building up from the freezing rain. So this system is going to continue to hammer northern Manitoba. We're just looking at a few clouds, maybe some brief passing showers overnight. Back to sunshine again tomorrow. Meanwhile, northern Manitoba still going to be dealing with this system right throughout the coming weekend. As far as temperatures go, yeah, they have cooled down considerably. I mean, we were in the mid-20s yesterday, and today only getting to about 12 degrees. Off and on through the weekend, some just bouncing between the high single digits and the low double digits, and maybe another round of precipitation to come our way on Monday.
Thank you, Terry. Some communities along the Icelandic River are in danger from rising water. Homeowners in Arborg and Riverton say they haven't seen the river this high since 2022. As CTV's Jeff Keel shows you, officials are cautioning people to prepare ahead of time, just in case.
Water from the Icelandic River in Arborg is creeping into John Dewick's yard.
Well, it's higher than it's been quite a few years, but in 2022 it was a little bit higher than it is now.
The province says with warmer temperatures and continued snowmelt, the Icelandic River and Fisher River in the Interlake region are under a flood warning. Levels have spilled over the banks in some locations.
There's still lots of inflow of water coming in from the west, so we'll just have to wait and see.
Town and municipal officials in Arborg are working to flood-proof the area as the water level has gone up in recent days. It's holding now, but the community is preparing for more just in case.
From what we see forecasted, yes, there's a good potential that more water can come. Now, nobody wants to let their guard down.
The concerns are if it does go up another foot or so, there will be houses that will be impacted.
So thousands of sandbags are being made available for homeowners. Officials are cautioning people if you need them, don't wait until the last minute.
There's homes here along the river that, those waters are right up to their shed. So if it increases, that increases our numbers.
There is also overland flooding. This road is closed and ice has been broken up along the river here to prevent ice jams.
The ice has disappeared, so they cleaned that out yesterday.
And the same thing is happening in nearby Riverton. Ice was flowing and then got caught up on the bridge in that community while we were there, so a crew started breaking it up.
It has happened where it's backed up pretty quick and that.
Jeff Keel, CTV News, Riverton.
Winnipeg Mayor Scott Gillingham is speaking out in favor of bail reform provisions in Bill C-14.
When we have individuals who time after time are arrested and while they await their trial date are on bail and go out to commit more crime in the community, we have to end that. We just have to end that.
On Thursday, Gillingham shared data and case examples from the Winnipeg Police Service Bail Compliance Unit with the Senate Committee on Legal and Constitutional Affairs. He says the reverse onus provisions in the proposed Bail and Sentencing Reform Act are critical, but investments in preventative interventions are a must. The president of the Association of Manitoba Municipalities also spoke about the matter yesterday. Trade talks are heating up between Canada and the U.S., and a major point of contention is the lack of American booze on Canadian shelves.
There may have to be an enforcement action to deal with this issue on wine and spirits in Canada.
You know, it's an irritant. 50% tariff on steel, 50% tariff on aluminum, 25% tariff on automobiles, all the tariffs on forest products.
Prime Minister Mark Carney says it'll be up to the provinces to decide whether they restock the shelves, but U.S. President Donald Trump will likely need to drop his tariffs first. Mark Carney says the steep duties on steel, aluminum, autos, and forestry are violations of the existing Canada-United States-Mexico trade deal and are not minor disputes. Conservative leader Pierre Poilievre said the focus should be on the 2.6 million Canadian jobs affected by the trade war. Canada's new ambassador to the U.S. has told a parliamentary committee there are active discussions underway to reduce the tariffs imposed on Canadian industries. And Canada's ambassador to the U.S. is facing some backlash today after sending out an English-only invitation to members of the federal government's Foreign Affairs Committee. Mark Wiseman says the English invite was an unacceptable error. Bloc Québécois MP and Vice Chair of the committee, Alexis Brunel-Duceppe, said the English-only invitation was a bad start for the new ambassador. A new invitation in both official languages had since been sent out. Canada's largest ever lottery draw has been claimed by two longtime friends from London, Ontario. Greg and Chris, whose last names were not released, won the $80 million Lotto Max jackpot last December. The two men who moved here from Europe decades ago met at an English class and have been friends ever since.
I never saw the money for my life. When I came to Canada, I worked in the factory almost 28 years. Thank you, Greg. Oh, you're welcome. You're the best, my friend.
The men say they worked hard building a life in Canada. Now they want to see the world and secure a financial future for their families. The province is changing the way it collects outstanding fines, and it could mean you'll have to pay up before you can renew your license or take out a permit.
You've got to renew your license, you want to go buy a park pass. Well, if you have an outstanding fine, let's clear that up first, and then you can go ahead and you can purchase those items.
Justice Minister Matt Wiebe says the province is setting up a 10-person team to collect unpaid fines instead of outsourcing to a collection agency as it currently does. Wiebe says this will save the province around $3 million a year by eliminating an 18% commission on payments received. It also means the province will be able to prioritize the fines it collects first instead of focusing on what may be the easiest. Henry Winkler was warned filming a movie in the middle of a Winnipeg winter would be cold, and it exceeded expectations. The Hollywood legend was in town in November of 2024 to shoot Normal alongside Better Call Saul star Bob Odenkirk. And he had fun recounting the memorable experience on Late Night with Seth Meyers.
He invited me to Winnipeg.
That's where you shot the film.
Freezing cold.
Yes, that's what I've heard. I will say, I talked to Bob during the filming of the show in Winnipeg. He said it is as cold as you think. He also had very nice things to say about the people. He said were lovely. The restaurants were great.
It's a very good restaurant.
During production, he got a full taste of the elements when he had to film during a blizzard. It was ideal for the production team as the movie was set in Minnesota, but not so perfect for the Vaughns.
It was so cold that a lot of me said, we're going home.
Interesting.
Yes. Not my feet, because they were in boots.
Got it.
But a lot of me...
So physically you were there, but like anybody acting with you would be like, Henry's not there.
Hard to concentrate.
Yeah, hard to concentrate.
Wow.
Normal opened in theaters April 17th and is slated to hit digital streaming on May 19th. No word yet if Winkler is planning a return trip. Here's a look outside now at the current traffic situation at Confusion Corner. It looks like things are starting off pretty pretty smoothly in this part of the city. Let's go now to Tandy Vera, who is live at Red River Exhibition Park this morning. We're talking about Rotorama.
Hi, Rochelle. Good morning, Manitoba. I just want to highlight, Rochelle, the car behind me is 100 years old, which is crazy. 100 years old, and it's still in such great condition. In fact, the driver actually uses it quite often. You can check by the tires. It's on those Winnipeg roads. So yeah, Rotorama's on this weekend. It's back, and they have such a milestone. It's 25 years of Rotorama, and I really want to highlight not just the cars, but the people behind the cars, because it takes so much work and time to keep these cars in good shape and just to even restore them. So we got to give a shout out to them. And if you want to check it out, it's on the whole weekend. And we're going to chat to someone who actually created their own custom vehicle later on today. So you want to tune in.
All right, that car is incredible. Thank you, Tandy. Let's go out to the rooftop now. Waking up this morning much cooler today than it was yesterday.
It really is. Yeah, I've got the winter jacket back on again this morning after coming in jacketless yesterday. My goodness, what a change up. I noticed it yesterday evening, that temperature starting to fall off as the cold front was moving in. Well, now we're kind of back to seasonal temperatures, at least for this morning. We might remain slightly below seasonal, though, throughout the course of the day and for the next stretch of days. 0 degrees is where we're sitting right now. Winds out of the west-southwest. They're 17 kilometers per hour, but they might get a lot stronger again later today. The pressure rising, humidity at 77%. Now, it is quite clear out here with the sun rising in a matter of minutes. At 6:18, that'll be official sunrise, and setting well into the 8 o'clock hour around 8:30 or so. So we are getting these longer days. That's nice. We had the warmer days, and now things are kind of settling back to below seasonal once again. I mentioned not quite getting to the normal daytime high of 14 degrees, instead topping out at about 12 here in Winnipeg. Still, we're looking at all of that precipitation lingering through northern Manitoba, the freezing rain, the flurries, all of that still continuing, and that does likely or will likely continue yet throughout the rest of the weekend. We're taking a break, but we'll be back with Your Morning Winnipeg.
Weather is brought to you by ABC Fire and Safety, your CO2 refill store.
Good morning. A former Winnipeg teacher has pled guilty to sexual exploitation and luring involving underage girls. But first, a warning. This story contains details that may be disturbing to some viewers. 38-year-old Matthew Musso pled guilty to a number of sexual-related offenses, including sexual exploitation, voyeurism, accessing child sexual abuse material, and providing liquor to minors. In an agreed statement of facts, court heard police first detain Musso as part of a retail theft initiative at CF Polo Park in May of 2024. Officers discovered a cell phone with child sexual abuse material on it. Investigators later learned Musso had surreptitiously recorded children and adults in various stages of undress within the family change room at Seven Oaks Pool. Court also heard how Musso groomed a student who had sought guidance from him following the deaths of 2 family members. The relationship turned sexual, and he also had a sexual exploitative relationship with a separate student in 2019 while employed as a support worker in an after-school program. The Crown will be seeking a sentence of up to 28 years in prison. Musso is expected to be sentenced later this year. A healthcare worker advocacy group is raising alarm over the growing rate of vacancies in rural paramedics.
These are not just numbers. This is a growing crisis that could affect anyone living in Manitoba or traveling in Manitoba.
That's Jason Linklater, president of the Manitoba Association of Healthcare Providers. His comments come as new data acquired through Freedom of Information requests and shared with CTV News shows 1 in every 4 paramedic positions in the province were vacant at the end of 2025. That's up from just shy of 15% just 2 years earlier. There were some modest improvements between 2024 and 2025. However, the association says the province is simply not keeping up with attrition.
With more than 1 in 4 paramedic positions vacant and response times sometimes exceeding 1 hour, it seems like we're going backwards. This crisis was not inevitable, it didn't have to happen, and it can be fixed. with dedicated attention and resources.
Among the solutions being put forward is a call for more direct entry education seats, a subsidized pathway for emergency medical responders to become paramedics, and incentives for hard-to-fill positions. Health Minister Uzama Azaguera suggested some of the numbers being referenced may be out of date, saying there has been a net gain of 41 paramedics. Azaguera also said the province is working with post-secondary institutions to create a pathway for emergency medical responders to become paramedics.
An EMR to PCP, which is a primary care paramedic, to ACP, which is an advanced care paramedic. That's what we're talking about. EMRs are the first step. We're going to get folks to being PCPs, and then hopefully they can become ACPs in time.
Azaguera added the province still has a goal of hiring 200 more paramedics. The City of Winnipeg is once again taking Tartan Towing to court, this time over breaching its 2019 contract. A lawsuit filed by the city on April 16th alleges Tartan failed to pay the appropriate cost recovery fee for tows ordered by the Winnipeg Police Service. The discrepancy was found through a police review of its traffic hold records to reports submitted by Tartan, with omitted payments dating as far back as 2014. Last February, the city sent a demand to Tartan to pay just under $302,000 for 5,800 tows and accrued interest. The file says Tartan denied owing any money. In 2024, the city filed a statement of claim against Tartan, alleging the company overbilled more than $1 million for tows it didn't do. Toronto police have charged 3 men in connection with a cybercrime investigation called Project Lighthouse.
A sophisticated device designed to mimic a cellular tower, intercept connections, and send fraudulent text messages directly to people's phones.
Police say the accused men used something called a mobile SMS blaster. The blaster is placed in the back of a car and was driven around the Greater Toronto area. Police say this kind of cybercrime technology has never been used in Canada before, and it highlights how criminals are changing their methods. When a person's phone connects to one of these blasters, they get a fraudulent text message that appears to be from a trusted organization, prompting people to click on a link. Those links lead to fake websites meant to steal banking information and passwords. WestJet is joining other airlines in charging more for checked luggage. Travelers will now have to pay $10 more for their first or second checked bag. That number drops to $5 if you signed up for checked baggage beforehand. But if your bag is oversized or overweight, that will cost $50 more. This is WestJet's third increase to baggage fees in 3 years. Air Canada announced a price hike last week. The first bag fee for economy basic passengers is increasing from $35 to $45 for travelers within Canada or to and from the U.S. Artists from around the world are in Rabat, Morocco, where buildings have become giant canvases. It's part of an annual street art festival. The artists say the massive murals give them a chance to showcase their work and exchange stories of their experiences, which isn't something they get to do often because there's no specialized art schools for murals. More than 100 murals have been painted across the city. We have some road closures to remind you about this morning. Following the rush hours, all eastbound lanes on Lombard Avenue will be closed from Rory to Westbrook Street. The westbound curb and middle lanes on Pioneer Avenue will be closed between Westbrook and Main Street, and the northbound curb lane on Balmoral Street will be closed from Spence Street to Broadway. If you see any issues out there, please send us a text and let us know.
We're looking through the CTV Live Eye now, brought to you by Bathfitter, exclusive home of the PermaFit solution. Well, we will enjoy some sunshine today, but you're going to want to put those extra layers on. Considerably cooler than any of the temperatures over the past couple of days. We've been quite spoiled with the well above seasonal temperatures, and that all came to a very abrupt end last night when we fell back to the freezing mark, and that's what we're waking up to this morning now. So 0 degrees at the moment here in Winnipeg. There are still some plus digits, 1 degree in Portage and in Gimli, 2 degrees in the Morden Winkler area, or -2 for Dauphin, -1 for Brandon. Similar temperatures on either side of the freezing mark by a degree or so. Moving up into northern Manitoba, it's not the temperatures that are too awful through the more central stretch. It's further into the north, and not that they're awful, it's more the conditions that are leaving so much to be desired. But you are definitely below the freezing mark, -9 at the moment in Churchill, and yes, still under a blizzard warning in the far north and parts of the northeast. There's that freezing rain warning that's in areas just a little bit more south of that, the winter storm warning in around the Flin Flon area. So all of those warnings that I talked about yesterday are still very much in existence across northern Manitoba. Meanwhile, it will be a fairly sunny day for us here throughout southern Manitoba, just nowhere near as warm. 4 degrees as kids get into the classroom, lunchtime temps around 7, and 10 degrees by the time they're coming home, with 12 our expected high for today. Now 14 is actually normal for this time of year, so we're not getting there today, and we won't be through the weekend. The closest, 13 degrees on Sunday, we'll take it. That's right ahead of some showers that'll kick off next week before we see the sunshine, but those slightly cooler temperatures remain. Some incredible sky shots that we've been seeing with those storms moving through, though, and it did make for some beautiful pictures. Thanks to Julia for sharing this one. Keep the photos coming to Winnipeg Weather at CTV.ca. We're taking a break. We'll see you soon.
Good morning. A new virtual reality program is helping seniors with dementia stay active by taking them somewhere else entirely. CTV's Spencer Turcotte explains.
Reading my instructions.
It may look like a video game, but for some seniors living with dementia, it's a chance to reconnect. Inside the Adult Recreation Therapy Center in Brantford, 84-year-old Donna Nowacki slips on a virtual reality headset, and suddenly she's no longer in the room. She's on the water.
Tricky, he moves. He takes turns very quickly.
Wilfrid Laurier University researchers watch along as her experience plays out in real time on a nearby TV. The game is called Seize the Day, and unlike other VR games, it's designed specifically to get older adults moving while sparking memories and engagement.
Participants can be engaged doing certain activities that we know they miss, we know they like doing, we know that they have been there before.
With movements like rowing, fishing, reaching, users build strength and coordination. But for those with dementia, the benefits go deeper. The immersive scenes are designed to feel familiar, calming, even nostalgic.
We have a cottage on Lake Erie, and so it did remind me of some of the lake activities that we did there.
We're doing it in a way that is therapeutically correct, as opposed to something that will potentially generate an injury.
Each motion is carefully designed alongside therapists, gradually increasing intensity without overwhelming the user. And there's a playful side too.
The one I caught 12 fish once. Yeah, 12 fish.
The game encourages users to beat their own score, turning therapy into something they actually want to do. For researchers, that motivation is key. Traditional rehab can feel repetitive, but this approach keeps people coming back.
I noticed change in self-confidence.
But the goal is much bigger than this room.
I'm collaborating with Sick Kids Hospital in a very similar project, in this case for children with ADHD.
While this session is focused on seniors with dementia, researchers say the same technology could be adapted for stroke recovery and children's mental health, turning exercise into escape and moments into memories. Spencer Turcotte, CTV News, Brantford.
Several communities in Alberta are taking part in a provincial pilot project.
That's probably why they want to live in the area, right? Easy access, so I think it's good.
It's always fun to drive a golf cart too, right? No matter where it is.
People in Alberta may soon see golf carts be on the golf course. At least half a dozen municipalities are testing the idea of letting golf carts drive on some residential roads. There will also be a survey for people living in these communities for feedback. Wake up and win with CTV Your Morning and Manitoba Blue Cross. We could pay your bills with a massive $20,000. Imagine what you could do with an extra 20 grand. The possibilities are endless. Today's code word is bonus. Head to the contest page at ctvwinnipeg.ca or scan the QR code on your screen. Enter bonus with your info for your chance to win. The Your Morning $20,000 Pay Your Bills contest, brought to you by Manitoba Blue Cross, your local trusted health benefits provider. Good luck.
Zero degrees outside right now, and yes, the sun is shining for us. Winds, they're out of the west-southwest, 17 kilometers per hour. The pressure rising, humidity at 77%. There are a few clouds out there, but not so many that will be blocking the sun for southern Manitoba. Central and northern Manitoba, maybe a bit of a different story, especially through northern Manitoba, with all of those storm warnings still in place, from the freezing rain warning through northeastern Manitoba. Further north is the blizzard warning. The northwest, that's the winter storm warning. Numbers are still looking very similar to what we talked about yesterday, with about 5 millimeters of freezing rain and up to 30 or more centimeters of snow through the most northern parts of the province. So nothing has changed there. Unfortunately, it looks like that's going to last through the weekend. Here in the south, we've cooled down considerably from those incredibly mild temperatures that we've been enjoying over the past couple of days. 12 degrees is our expected high now, slightly below seasonal, 14 normal for this time of year, and we're going to deal with those winds once again, at times gusting to 50 kilometers per hour out of the southwest. They should taper off tonight as we drop down to 1. There is the possibility of some scattered precipitation just contained to the overnight hours. It'll clear out again for tomorrow. 9 degrees on tap, so again a little bit cool and again a little bit breezy. We don't seem to get a break from these winds. Now, the below seasonal temperatures, they're going to be lasting for the most part all the way as far as we can see. I mentioned 14 degrees being normal. We will get a fair bit of sunshine, although Monday looks like that sunshine gets interrupted, kicking off the week with some showers before the sun is back again.
Thank you, Terry. One senior is dead and another is in custody following an incident in South Winnipeg Tuesday. Police were called to an apartment complex in the 1200 block of St. Anne's Road just before 11:30 p.m. Officers found an 80-year-old woman with fatal injuries, and a 74-year-old man was arrested at the scene. He's charged with second-degree murder and remains in custody. Investigators say the pair knew each other, but have not yet responded to our questions about the nature of their relationship. It was a tense time for some folks northeast of Winnipeg as a fast-moving grass fire erupted very early Thursday morning.
Pretty scary, especially when it got so close to my property, my house. Pretty scary.
That's Velma Aiken, who lives north of Tyndall, and says firefighters got her out of bed in the middle of the night to warn her about what was happening. She then rushed over to her neighbor's home to wake them up as well.
Our neighbors over here, they came, and then we decided, well, hey, it's burning. Let's go with the shovels, and they had water jugs, eh? So we started here because they were fighting over there. So we were back in here putting out the spot fires, or whatever they call them.
Aiken says she and her neighbors were out past dawn trying to keep the fire from spreading, but not before it consumed about 60 acres of her pasture. They also found a tree which appears to have been hit by lightning. Aiken says she didn't lose any property, no one was injured, and all her animals are safe. On social media, the Beausejour-Broken Head Fire Department says its members were at the scene all night keeping tabs on the blaze with plans to attack it in the morning. They were gone by the time our cameras arrived. Canada's Financial Intelligence Agency says criminal organizations appear to be using young students from India to extort people and businesses in South Asian communities across the country. The Financial Transactions and Reports Analysis Centre of Canada, or FinTrack, says extortion targeting South Asian communities has evolved to a sustained campaign of coercion. It involves intimidation and coordination across multiple provinces, most notably British Columbia, Alberta, Manitoba, and Ontario. The FinTrack analysis suggests multiple crime groups are involved in ongoing extortion activities. They are advising banks and others who handle money to watch for telltale signs of extortion-related activities such as unusually large cash withdrawals or wire transfers. Things are always going downhill at this indoor amusement park.
On a magic carpet ride, a whole new world, a new fantastic point of view.
Slick City action parks are popping up all over the U.S. and could expand internationally. The parks are made up of all slides and are meant for people of all ages. Meta is rolling out a new tool to help parents keep tabs on how their kids are interacting with the company's artificial intelligence. The company says parents who are supervising teen accounts in Canada, the United States, Australia, the United Kingdom, and Brazil can now see the topics their teens have asked Meta AI about in the last week. The tool will be available globally in the coming weeks. They're also providing conversation starters from experts to help parents talk with their children about their experience with AI. Some Manitobans are rethinking their upcoming travel plans in an effort to avoid sky-high flights due to rising jet fuel prices. As CTV's Joseph Bernacki found out, it has many adjusting their plans on the fly.
When she's not flipping burgers at North Star Drive-In, Marina DeRook travels to see her favorite bands.
We're heading to Toronto for a concert in June, and then I was hoping to return to Vegas for my birthday in September.
But what was once pretty straightforward is now tricky as the cost of air travel soars due to the war in Iran. And some airlines have dropped flights completely.
The flights are just really expensive, and they're cutting out a lot of the direct flights, so it limits us kind of down to 1 day a week, so it's just hard with scheduling and all that.
At Travel Manitoba, Cody Chomiak, Vice President of Marketing, says road trips are the new trend this year, with many more Manitobans hitting the road.
People wanting to take to the road, whether that's in their car or an RV. We see huge interest from the Quebec market as an example, who love to RV across Canada, and really check out those places in Manitoba.
On a sunny Thursday at the Forks, crowds enjoyed some time outdoors, and some are considering all options to travel west later this year.
We are going into British Columbia to do the Great Divide Trail. We're flying there to Calgary and then going out to Waterton Lake. 7 weeks. We're doing 850 kilometers of walking.
Clayton Case and his wife Lisa are driving to a family wedding in Edmonton because flight costs are so uncertain.
If we fly, and actually we've done the math, the amount of gas it costs us is about equal to a flight. It just takes you one more day. It's going to be hard, isn't it? Yeah.
I'm just glad we don't travel a lot by air. We go away once a year. So we kind of save up for that. We've got the WestJet card, but other than that, most of our travel is by car.
Joseph Bernacki, CTV News, Winnipeg.
Here's a look outside now at Portage Avenue at Polo Park. It looks like things are starting off pretty smoothly for the Friday morning drive. If you see any issues out there, though, please send us a text. Here's a look at your gas prices. In Winnipeg, the average is $1.65, higher than yesterday. And the lowest price in the city is $1.45 on 204 fuels and also on Kendall's. All this information is on gasbuddy.com.
The Price at the Pump is brought to you by the Kidney Foundation. Help by donating your car today.
Coming up, we are live at Rotorama with our Tandy Vera. Look at these beautiful cars. You're going to see a lot more throughout the morning. Stay with us for more.
Weather is brought to you by Canadian Footwear, helping you find the perfect fit.
Feeling the chill of the breeze once again, we just don't seem to be able to shake that wind. Well, now that those temperatures have fallen back to pretty much normal, you're certainly noticing that little bit of a bite that the breeze has as well. 0 degrees right now with a 17K wind out of the west-southwest. The pressure rising, the humidity sitting at 77%. Aside from the fact that it's back to normal for this time of year, that's a pretty trivial thing to be complaining about after we got spoiled with those beautiful temperatures over the past couple of days. It certainly is an adjustment, but still pretty normal for this time of year, and we're going to spend the day with the sunshine. It's not looking too bad. It's far better than parts of northern Manitoba, who once again are going to be dealing with those storm-like conditions. Blizzard warnings remaining in place for the far north part of the province, and in excess of 30 centimeters of snow is still quite likely. That 5 millimeters of freezing rain will likely still be a factor too. That's in the northwest, where the freezing rain warning remains, and then in the that's in the northeast. The northwest has the winter storm warning of about 15 centimeters of snow. So still, all of that activity continues across northern Manitoba. We can handle some slightly cooler temperatures here in the south. Heading on over to Tandy Vera now to see where she is and what's going on. Happy Friday, Tandy.
Happy Friday, Terry. Yeah, we're here at Rotorama, 25 years of it, and I'm joined by Bill. Thank you for joining us this morning.
Well, you're welcome, and thank you for coming out to take a look at our show. We're so excited this year to have 25 years of Rotorama. If it's okay, can I describe some of the things that are here?
Go for it.
All right. So, you know, I'm almost 65 years old, and one of my favorite things when I was a young man was seeing a supercharged car. And right here we have Ted Kennedy's coupe with a supercharger, old school supercharger. Folks, if you like hot rods, this is an awesome car. Okay, take a look at that. 2 4-barrels on the top, nice big supercharger. Okay, big belt in it. Man, I bet this is one heck of a ride when he puts the gas to the floor. All right, and then I noticed we have yet another supercharged car right over there. There's a T-bucket with a supercharger on it, right? Another car that's just going to fly. But not only do they fly, they're great to come to the show and have a look at. If we go to my other side here, we got the 567 Club, brought out a whole bunch of their favorite cars, right? I mean, 56s, 57s, and some 55s. Beautiful cars. If I look around, we've got some cars in progress, right? We've got this Ford right here. Oh, sorry, this is a Chevy. I messed up. Okay, we got this Chevy that's just being built. And behind it, well, we got a Pacer. Okay, so if you remember the Pacer, well, we've got everything here for all kinds of folks. We've got some Corvettes, all right? And we got lovely, lovely Pontiac Parisians in this place. So, and I asked you earlier, what's your favorite car? And you told me you love the Carmen Ghia that's here. So, folks, if you like VWs, Carmen Ghias, Dodges, okay, Fords, Chevys, and my 1969 Oldsmobile that I got from my grandmother when I was 15, okay, is here as well. I've had it for 50 years. So, anyways, folks, please come to our show. It's 25 years. The people, the volunteers of Manitoba Street Rod Association, they work so hard to put this show on, to raise money for the Children's Rehabilitation Foundation, and to help us older hot rodders have some fun. Come on out. Any questions for me?
That's amazing. We're out of time, so thank you so much for joining us. That was great. Great descriptions. Come on down.
Great.
Here's a look at the early markets. The Dow Jones lost 135 points. The Nasdaq rose 243. The S&P index is flat. The Canadian dollar had small gains. Overseas, the Hang Seng is slightly up, and the Nikkei added 575 points. Good morning. It is 6:46. A teenage boy is facing several charges after police say he brought a handgun and knives to a rural Manitoba school. RCMP rushed to Green Valley School in Grunthal Wednesday morning around 9:30 after receiving a report a boy was on his way to the school with a gun. Mounties say he was confronted by school staff who convinced him to turn over the weapons. While he was being arrested, officers seized a handgun, a loaded magazine, loose ammunition, and knives. The boy remains in custody, and an investigation is ongoing. Winnipeg Mayor Scott Gillingham is speaking out in favor of bail reform provisions in Bill C-14.
When we have individuals who time after time are arrested and while they await their trial date are on bail and go out to commit more crime in the community, we have to end that. We just have to end that.
On Thursday, Gillingham shared data and case examples from the Winnipeg Police Service Bail Compliance Unit with the Senate Committee on Legal and Constitutional Affairs. He says the reverse onus provisions in the proposed Bail and Sentencing Reform Act are critical, but investments in preventative interventions are a must. The president of the Association of Manitoba Municipalities also spoke about the matter yesterday. The province is changing the way it collects outstanding fines, and it could mean you'll have to pay up before you can renew your license or take out a permit.
You've got to renew your license, you want to go buy a park pass. Well, if you have an outstanding fine, let's clear that up first, and then you can go ahead and you can purchase those items.
Justice Minister Matt Wiebe says the province is setting up a 10-person team to collect unpaid fines instead of outsourcing to a collection agency as it currently does. Wiebe says this will save the province around $3 million a year by eliminating an 18% commission on payments received. It also means the province will be able to prioritize the fines it collects first instead of focusing on what may be the easiest. 2 cryptocurrency companies have told the Manitoba government they could be forced out of business by new proposed laws. The government has introduced a bill which would charge cryptocurrency operations and data centers up to 100% higher rates for electricity. Another bill would allow Crown-owned Manitoba Hydro to temporarily reduce power to cryptocurrency operators at peak times in order to ensure stability of the grid. Gildo Terrio has told a legislative committee his company, Gator Mining, will go bankrupt.
If this goes through, our business goes bankrupt. And a lot of family will be impacted. A lot of investors that we have will lose their investment.
A separate firm from Arberg says it will likely go bankrupt if the changes go ahead. Finance Minister Adrienne Sala says the changes are needed because cryptocurrency mines provide low economic value while using substantial amounts of electricity. Following closely in the path of Artemis 2 crew member Jeremy Hansen, another Canadian astronaut is all set to mark his first space flight. Joshua Kutrick will be heading to the International Space Station later this year, joining NASA's SpaceX Crew 13. The 44-year-old from Alberta will live and work on board the ISS for about 6 months and become the first Canadian to be part of NASA's commercial crew program. Several communities in Alberta are taking part in a provincial pilot project.
100%. That's probably why they want to live in the area, right? Easy access, so I think it's good.
It's always fun to drive a golf cart too, right? No matter where it is.
People in Alberta may soon see golf carts beyond the golf course. At least half a dozen municipalities are testing the idea of letting golf carts drive on some residential roads. There will also be a survey for people living in these communities for feedback. We have some road closures to remind you about this morning. Following the rush hours, all eastbound lanes on Lombard Avenue will be closed from Rory to Westbrook Street. The westbound curb and middle lanes on Pioneer Avenue will be closed between Westbrook and Main Street. And the northbound curb lane on Balmoral Street will be closed from Spence Street to Broadway. If you have any other traffic tips to share, please send us a text.
I'm not sure if you noticed the audio from that golf cart story that we just ran out in Alberta, but it's nice to know that we're not the only ones dealing with the winds. My goodness. Okay, here we go. 0 degrees at the moment. There's some sunshine out there to enjoy, but yes, the winds. At the moment, actually, they're not too bad. Just 17 kilometers per hour out of the west-southwest. The pressure rising, the humidity at 77%. But yesterday afternoon, my goodness, those were some intense winds. But still, sunshine and winds will beat whatever's going on across northern Manitoba. It's going to be another pretty unideal day. I mean, the snow continues with blizzard warnings in place in the far north. The northeast has the freezing rain warning in effect. And then over into parts of the northwest, that's the winter storm warning. But overall, it's all talking about this very same system that is just stalling and lingering over northern Manitoba. So depending on where your temperatures are, you might get more of that freezing rain, or further into the north, the straight up snow. Now, it's cleared out nicely, but yes, the winds, those are the icons that you're seeing in the Brandon, Neepawa areas, and the temperatures are considerably cooler than where they've been. We've been so spoiled for a couple of days now with those low to mid 20 temperatures, and now an abrupt adjustment back to what is normal or even slightly below seasonal, because 14 degrees would be that normal daytime high, and we're likely to top out at about 12 here in Winnipeg, with fairly similar temperatures throughout the southeastern part of the province, northwestern Ontario, just into those double digits as well, or maybe even high single digits. The sunshine, the winds, yes, those winds will be a factor still over the next couple of days, and these below seasonal temperatures are going to continue, but we should also continue with a few days of sunshine before we see some showers into the start of next week, and then after that, a few more days of sunshine, but we're just not seeing those seasonal temperatures showing up anytime soon.
Thank you, Terry. A Comox Valley woman realized an artistic dream after discovering there's no place like home. And sometimes inspiration is a lot closer than you think. CTV's Adam Sawatsky reports.
Just a couple things to do.
To appreciate what's beyond that door in the floor.
Here we go.
And what she's been doing down there.
All right, here we go.
You need to know how Bean Holden had been feeling up here.
I felt like I was missing something.
Something she first found back when she was posing for black and white pictures. Drawing.
It's great to be able to do that. There's nothing like it.
But after decades of life getting in the way of pursuing her passion for art, Bean felt like she was living in a black and white world.
And then I thought, where is my heart?
A question she answered decades later when she found the courage to take a painting class.
It was like the Wizard of Oz when they changed it from black and white to color.
She was so inspired, Bean painted more than 80 canvases in countless colors.
Once I turned on that side of my brain again, I couldn't stop.
Even better, people started buying her paintings. So Bean decided to go pro. But gallery owners said that they were looking for different subject matter to sell.
It was disappointing. I don't let things like that stop me.
But it wasn't until that day Bean went to store her unsold paintings in the crawl space.
Hey, this is a really cool thing to do.
That she came up with a creative solution.
What a crazy idea, honestly. And watch this pipe.
Instead of following a yellow brick road, Bean invites you to crawl along a path covered in knee-cushioning foam before arriving in her wonderful world of art.
The Crawl Space Art Gallery. Wow.
The gallery includes an eclectic display of paintings and low tables for art aficionados to socialize around.
That idea of being strange went away, and it was, this is a really fun thing to do.
And like when Dorothy clicked the heels of her ruby slippers, Bean has discovered that when it comes to realizing your art gallery dreams, there really is no place like home.
Your dreams are attainable, and you should keep going and reach them.
Adam Sawatsky, CTV News, Comox.
Let's check in now with Gabby at Bounce 99.9. Good morning, Gabby. Happy Friday.
Oh my goodness, thank God it is here. I'm so sorry, I'm a bit late here. Okay. I made you wait, Rochelle, which I never like to do. We talked about punctuality, talk about being late for your TV hit with Rochelle Lagacé. Beau's off today, I'm flying solo, so there's a bunch of stuff happening over there. But want to talk about vehicle disasters, because my car sounds like there's a bunch of tin cans rattling around inside. It is nothing good. Avoiding getting it fixed because we're buying a new vehicle. So why would I sink money into it when we're about to get a new vehicle? I just turn the music up. I turn the volume up and I can't hear it, Rochelle. Hopefully it keeps driving. What about you? Have you ever had a vehicle disaster?
Oh, so many, but one that stands out was my first car ever. I think we talked about my first car. I named her. Her name was Jordan. Well, I blew her motor. Yeah. I literally blew her motor, and I was in university at the time, couldn't afford a new car. So my dad and my Uncle Gil, they went everywhere looking for a new motor for my car, and then they found one for 300 bucks. And then suddenly Jordan had a brand new heart, and she ran for another 3 years. So it worked out for me that I had handy people working for me and for my car, and she had a brand new heart.
She just needed a little transplant, right?
Yeah, exactly. And then she went well until I was finished university. And then after that, I got out of there and she went as well. So it was good. It worked out really well.
Rochelle, no, I have a follow-up question. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to throw shade here, but how exactly do you blow a motor? Because I haven't put oil in our SUV in a long time, and that put engine oil in light has been on for a long time.
Complicated. It's a 1984 Citation, and they were well known for flooding. So the carburetor would flood all the time. So I would open it up and put a pencil and then floor it. And I guess it was too cold. I floored it to open up that carb and blew the motor, and it happened. And then when the second motor came in, it started happening again, where the motor would just flood. And my dad said, I don't think you should be doing this anymore. You don't know what you're doing. Stop doing that. And so I did. And it lasted for another 3 years. Yeah, I'm not a mechanic. My dad and my uncle.
Are you though? You might be.
No, I did not know what I was doing. I just knew how to damage the car. And then my dad and my uncle knew how to fix it for me. That was it. But that does it for that.
I'm so impressed.
Yeah.
I'm impressed by what I just heard. You're basically a mechanic. I'm going to bring my SUV over. You take a look at it.
Okay, I will. Thanks, Gabby. Have a good weekend. Here's a look outside right now at Main and Broadway. It looks like things are moving well. No stalled cars or flooded cars in this part of the city. If you see any issues, let us know. We'll be right back after this. It's Friday, April 24th. Today, taking precautions, how communities along the Icelandic River are preparing for floods. Plus, a positive turn, why things may be looking up for Peguis First Nation. And a contract breach, why Winnipeg is once again taking tartan towing to court. Your Morning Winnipeg starts right now. Good morning, Manitoba at 7 o'clock on your Friday. Happy Friday to you. We are here, arrived to the end of the week, and at 7:52, we're going to tell you about a brand new TV series based in Manitoba. It's called Geekopolis, and it's about people who get obsessed with really cool hobbies and fun activities, like train models, for example, or something else like dolls, and they really focus and hone in on these people.
Or geek out on them.
Who geek out on these kinds of activities. So we're going to tell you about the show, which is coming up. Apparently, it's really funny.
Nice.
So the weather, though, not so funny for some parts in this province.
Oh, I know. And I was saying yesterday, I mean, for northern Manitoba, it's exactly what nobody wanted to see. I mean, this this late in the season, these storms, and they always seem to have so much more strength or impact when they come late in the season like that as well. And so that's what northern Manitoba is waking up to. We're waking up to a bit of a shock to the system, but only because we got spoiled over the past couple of days. So while yesterday morning we started out at 14 degrees, and that, by the way, is a normal daytime high, this morning we're back to 0. There is some sunshine, winds out of the west-southwest. They're 17 kilometers per hour. The pressure is rising, the humidity sitting at 17%. Fairly clear conditions, though, across southern Manitoba, and it's a totally different story across the north. That's where all of the activity is. Once again, you dealt with it yesterday, and then you're still going to deal with it, not just today. I wish I could say this would be the end of it, but it looks like it's going to last yet through the coming weekend. Tapering off somewhat as we continue through the weekend, so it will ease from what you're seeing today, but still very much a factor with the blizzard-like warnings, the freezing rain warnings, the winter storm warnings, all in effect throughout northern Manitoba, dealing with those very strong winds. Now, we too had some very strong winds, but fairly clear conditions, and for the past couple of days, those well above seasonal temperatures. Well, now we'll still deal with the winds. There will be some sunshine, but those temperatures are kind of back to normal, or maybe even slightly below seasonal. So here's a look into Saturday morning, Saturday throughout the day. You're still going to see this continuing, and right into Sunday as well, with this scattered. Again, you can see it easing, tapering off, but it will still continue to be a factor right throughout the coming weekend up north. We're dealing with some sunshine through the weekend, slightly below seasonal temperatures, then kicking off next week with some showers before the sun is back again. Our art today is a monochromatic look. Thank you very much, Ava. How fantastic is this? We'd love to see more of what you're working on, so please keep the art coming. Submit now through our website, ctvnewswinnipeg.ca. When you do, you're entered to win a $100 gift card from Crockadoodle on Kenniston.
The weather art of the day is brought to you by Crockadoodle. Spend quality time with loved ones and paint memories together.
Poor weather has caused the closure of one school this morning in the Division Scolaire Franco-Manitobaine. The DSFM reports that it has closed École La Voie du Nord in Thompson. The situation remains tense at Pegos First Nation as floodwaters threaten the community. But Thursday evening, Pegos Chief Stan Bird expressed some optimism.
As of this evening, I have been informed that the river may have crested and could begin to recede over the next couple of days. The key word is may. And out of an abundance of caution, we must remain diligent. Basements can still flood. Road access can still be affected. Drinking water could be impacted. And floodwaters from the south may not have reached their full volume yet.
In the same social media message, Chief Bird praised his community's preventative efforts. The First Nation said on its Facebook page Thursday that Les Daniels and Pinecone Crossing have both been closed, as well as a nearby roadway. Water from the river has begun washing over it along the culvert. Now, crews are currently in the process of cutting open the road to allow the water to flow and to relieve pressure in the area. Meantime, 12 have already been evacuated, mainly residents with medical conditions and mobility concerns, and members of the Canadian Red Cross are on the ground already helping to assist.
From the Canadian Red Cross side, we're looking at supporting the community through these other means of, providing a warming center, building sandbags, providing volunteers to go out there and help with the flood mitigation barriers.
Heavy equipment has been working to break up ice over the past few days, and they're asking residents to avoid active work zones. Some communities along the Icelandic River are in danger from rising water. Homeowners in Arborg and Riverton say they haven't seen the river this high since 2022. As CTV's Jeff Keel shows you, officials are cautioning people to prepare ahead of time, just in case.
Water from the Icelandic River in Arborg is creeping into John Dewick's yard.
Well, it's higher than it's been quite a few years, but in 2022 it was a little bit higher than it is now.
The province says with warmer temperatures and continued snowmelt, the Icelandic River and Fisher River in the Interlake region are under a flood warning. Levels have spilled over the banks in some locations.
There's still lots of inflow of water coming in from the west, so we'll just have to wait and see.
Town and municipal officials in Arborg are working to floodproof the area as the water level has gone up in recent days. It's holding now, but the community is preparing for more just in case.
From what we see forecasted, yes, there's a good potential that more water can come. Now, nobody wants to let their guard down.
The concerns are if it does go up another foot or so, there will be houses that will be impacted.
so thousands of sandbags are being made available for homeowners. Officials are cautioning people, if you need them, don't wait until the last minute.
There's homes here along the river that, those waters are right up to their shed. So if it increases, that increases our numbers.
There is also overland flooding. This road is closed and ice has been broken up along the river here to prevent ice jams.
The ice has disappeared, so they cleaned that out yesterday.
And the same thing is happening in nearby Riverton. Ice was flowing and then got caught up on the bridge in that community while we were there, so a crew started breaking it up.
It has happened where it's backed up pretty quick and that.
Jeff Keel, CTV News, Riverton.
The City of Winnipeg is once again taking Tartan Towing to court, this time over breaching its 2019 contract. A lawsuit filed by the city on April 16th alleges Tartan failed to pay the appropriate cost recovery fee for tows ordered by the Winnipeg Police Service. The discrepancy was found through a police review of its traffic hold records to reports submitted by Tartan with omitted payments dating as far back as 2014. Last February, the city sent a demand to Tartan to pay just under $302,000 for 5,800 tows and accrued interest. The file says Tartan denied owing any money. In 2024, the city filed a statement of claim against Tartan, alleging the company overbilled more than $1 million for tows it didn't do. The Nova Scotia Sport Hall of Fame is giving fans a chance to play their own part in a new Sidney Crosby exhibit.
We thought it's a neat way for people in the community that love him, as we all do, to get involved and have their name tied to this exhibit. And it'll be there forever. As long as it's here, your name will be tied to the puck that you purchase.
The museum is redesigning its hockey section and will include an exhibit celebrating Crosby. Part of the display will include hundreds of pucks surrounding his dinged-up family dryer that he used as practice as a child. The puck will represent each of his NHL goals so far and can be bought for $50 each. So some special ones marking career milestones are going up for special auction. Here's what's happening right now on Notre Dame Avenue. It looks like things are moving quite well starting off this Friday morning. If you see any issues out there, please let us know.
Intel shares are on track to hit their highest level ever after the chipmaker delivered a blockbuster sales forecast that shattered Wall Street expectations. Intel shares soared as much as 31% in pre-market trading on Friday, setting up the stock to surpass its last peak from 26 years ago. It had gained 81% this year heading into the report. SAP is reporting revenue growth from its cloud services that beat analyst estimates after Europe's biggest software company began integrating artificial intelligence agents into the service. SAP says the current cloud backlog, a measure of deals growth coming in the next 12 months, was 25% at constant currencies, in line with analysts' estimates. Chinese regulators plan to restrict technology firms, including some of the country's highest profile, from accepting U.S. capital without government approval, part of Beijing's broader response to Meta's controversial acquisition of startup Manus. Agencies, including the National Development and Reform Commission, have told several private firms in recent weeks they should reject capital of U.S. origin in funding rounds unless explicitly approved, according to people familiar with the matter. Those are your morning business headlines. For BNN Bloomberg, I'm Roger Peterson.
Rotorama is back this year, celebrating its 25th anniversary, and that is where our Tandy Vera is live this morning, showing us some beautiful classic cars. Hello, Tandy.
Hi, Rochelle. Yeah, there's some sweet rides here this morning. And when you buy a ticket, when you come down, what you don't know is that you're actually supporting a good cause. So a lot of the money that's made from the show is actually sent to the Children's Rehabilitation Center, where they get these customed bikes, and each bike is custom for each child. So as you can see, whether they have, they need neck support or anything, it's all customized for them. So you're supporting a good cause, and they get some sweet rides too, and experience to, be on a bike and just be outside, and as well as it works for their therapy. So if you want to come on down and show your support, that's a great cause to do so. So we have more lined up as well. We're going to talk to somebody who built their own custom build, which I'm super excited to hear about. So we have more lined up.
Such dedication. Okay, thank you, Tandy. Let's go out to the rooftop now. Oh, the sun is shining.
Oh my goodness, is it ever? And it looks so good out here. It almost takes the chill out of the air, although I can promise you I still feel that chill just a little bit. And the breeze, yes, we've been noticing it, and it will likely get stronger over the next couple of days. I can talk louder. It's okay. 1 degree at the moment. Those winds out of the west-southwest are 18 kilometers per hour. The pressure rising, humidity at 72%. And yes, blinded by the sunshine and perfectly happy to be in this position up here. Soaking up the sunshine, which we'll be doing all across southern Manitoba. Unfortunately, once again, I have to talk about the storms across northern Manitoba with the freezing rain warnings in place for the northeast, the winter storm for the northwest, further into the north yet. It's the blizzard warnings. So all of those warnings that we talked about yesterday, that activity will continue on and will continue on throughout the weekend, although it will be starting to taper off later today and easing over the next couple of days, but still lingering right into Sunday. You could see some of that scattered flurry activity continuing. Now, here in the south, we're looking at sunshine for the next few days, but while we've been spoiled with those well above seasonal temperatures, putting us up into those mid-20s, it's not going to be the case today. We're going to struggle to even get to seasonal, staying just shy of it with a high of 12 when 14 is normal for this time of year.
Weather is brought to you by Garage Masters, your complete garage specialists.
Time now for our question of the day. Today is New Kids on the Block Day. So we want to know, what's your favorite boy band? You can text your answer to 10400. Make sure to follow the automated instructions so we can feature your response. And please don't forget to include your name.
Question of the day, brought to you by Provivo, Manitoba's #1 cool sculpting clinic. Science-backed body contouring.
At Your Morning Winnipeg, we're all about celebrating your amazing pets, furry, feathered, or scaly. Your Pet of the Week submissions are amazing, and we want more, whether it's dogs, cats, birds, or any other pet pals. Send them our way. Drop your pet photos and a fun little story about them to Pet of the Week at CTV.ca, and then catch us every Thursday to find out if your pet is our Pet of the Week on Your Morning Winnipeg. Wake up and win with CTV Your Morning and Manitoba Blue Cross. We could pay your bills with a massive $20,000. Imagine what you could do with 20 grand. The possibilities are endless. Today's code word is bonus. Head to the contest page at ctvwinnipeg.ca or scan the QR code on your screen. Enter bonus with your info for your chance to win the Your Morning $20,000 Pay Your Bills contest. Brought to you by Manitoba Blue Cross, your local trusted health benefits provider. Good luck. The Winnipeg Police Service is requesting the public's assistance in locating a missing 44-year-old male, Jamal Sims. Sims was last seen on Tuesday at around 8:30 in the evening in the area of Lac-du-Bonnet, Manitoba. Sims is described as 5 feet 11 inches tall, medium build with black hair and brown eyes. Sims was last seen wearing a blue jacket, gray toque, brown shoes, and dark-colored pants. Sims was operating a gray 2010 Toyota Matrix XR bearing Manitoba license plate KLZ154. The Winnipeg Police Service is concerned for Sims' well-being and is asking anyone with any information regarding their whereabouts to contact the Winnipeg Police Service Missing Persons Unit at 204-986-6250. The conflict in Iran is already costing Canadians more to fly, and now WestJet is joining other carriers by packing on extra baggage fees. Travelers checking in their first or second bag at the airport will have to pay $10 more per item. If you sign up for checked baggage beforehand, it'll be $5 more per bag, and fees for overweight or oversized luggage will see an increase of $50. This is the third time in 3 years the airline has increased baggage fees. Some of the best swimmers in Western Canada are here in Winnipeg at Pan Am Pool. This is the Best of the West swimming meet. The brand new competition brings more than 500 of the top swimmers from Western Canada together for the challenge, and the stakes can be higher. Some of the swimmers powering their way through the water could one day be future Canadian Olympians.
For many of these swimmers, they are on the cusp of qualifying for Canadian Olympic trials and for more elite national events. So a lot of these swimmers are that close or have already attained those numbers. We have a large number actually that already qualify for those events.
The Best of the West swimming meet runs all the way through Sunday at the Pan Am Pool, and if you'd like to check it out, it's open to the public. Here's a look at what's happening outside at Gunnison and Sterling Lyon. It looks like things are moving well here. We have no delays or issues to tell you about at this point in the drive. If you see anything out there, though, please send us a text when it's safe and legal to do so.
Traffic is brought to you by Curtis Carpets, Manitoba's flooring experts.
Now in entertainment, when you think of Winnipeg, mountains don't exactly come to mind, but a film festival is hoping to bring the spirit of them to the prairies next month.
Notre objectif, c'était de faire le cadeau sans oxygène, d'être les premiers à décoller en mi-place du sommet.
Called the Winnipeg International Mountain Film Festival, it provides attendees with a curated lineup of inspiring adventure films. The stories range from high altitude to expeditions to personal climbing stories. Some of the titles include Qu'es-tu mon amour from France and Girls Climber. The festival kicks off at the Gas Station Arts Centre on May 12th and runs through the 13th. Tickets are available now at the festival's website. Before FIFA 2026, we're getting a chance to look back at FIFA 86.
En 1986 se jugó el mejor mundial en la historia de los mundiales, en México.
Diego Luna stars in the upcoming movie Mexico 86. It focuses on the country's bid as well as the iconic tournament itself, which saw Argentina defeat West Germany in the final. It starts streaming June 5th, 1 week before Canada welcomes the world in Toronto. Music streaming giant Spotify is marking its 20th anniversary, and to celebrate, it's released its list of the most streamed artists of all time. Taylor Swift claimed the top spot, although she faced a growing challenge from second-place artist Bad Bunny. He's traded with Swift for Top Artist of the Year in recent years. As he prepares for the release of his new album, Iceman, next month, Drake was the third most streamed. He was followed by fellow Toronto superstar The Weeknd, who had the most streamed song ever on Spotify with Blinding Lights. Ariana Grande rounded out the top 5. Your primetime lineup kicks off with 2 episodes of Happy's Place starting at 7. W5 Avery Haynes Investigates comes next at 8. Then catch Boston Blue at 9. It's all right here tonight on CTV. Terry, yesterday those winds, there was dust flying everywhere. It was just hard to run from it.
You know, at one point, when I first set out yesterday, I left early in the morning before the winds really increased, but halfway through my walk, they picked up and I found myself in one of those like dust tornadoes. I got a face full of it and I was still chewing the dirt. Like, you know, you could feel like the grit of it all. Like, something,
you need to floss your teeth.
Oh my, it was something. And then it just continued. Once those winds increased, they were pretty intense throughout the afternoon and evening. And by evening time, you really noticed that cool settling in quickly. Well, now we're waking up to those chillier temperatures, but it still looks gorgeous as we glance now through the CTV Live Eye, brought to you by Bath Fitter, exclusive home of the PermaFit solution. Yeah, a return to the seasonal temperatures after being well above. In fact, if you remember yesterday morning, we woke up to 14 degrees. That's a normal daytime high. And then we continued to make those intense gains. Lovely, beautiful. But yes, the winds. Now, while southern Manitoba has been enjoying this gorgeous weather, that hasn't been the case throughout northern Manitoba. Right now, you can see while we're back to the freezing mark, northern Manitoba is a little bit cooler yet, with snow still flying across much of the region. If it's not snow, some freezing rain, that's the expectation in more of the northeastern part of the province. Right around Island Lake, those freezing rain warnings continue. Further into the north, it's blizzard warnings, and then parts of the northwest around the Flin Flon area, that's where you're dealing with the winter storm warning. But all around, it has to do with that same system. It's just depending on your temperatures, you're seeing it in different forms. The precipitation never reads on the satellite image, just the clouds up north, but you can bet that that system will wrap around and then linger for the next few days. Here in the south, we will be enjoying the sunshine. Slightly cooler temperatures. 4 as kids get off to school, 7 through the lunch hour, and 10 by the time they're coming home, with 12 our expected high. Now, 14 is normal for this time of year, so we're not going to get there today. The closest we'll likely get is Sunday. Sunshine for the next few days, and yes, those winds, and then some showers to kick things off next week before the sunshine is back again. Now, the storms maybe brought less than ideal conditions, but they did make for some spectacular photos. Thanks to Julia for sharing this with us, and keep the photos coming to Winnipeg Weather at ctv.ca.
April 24th, 1800. The U.S. Library of Congress was established in Washington, D.C. It's the world's largest library with an estimated 80 million items. The original collection was burned when British troops set fire to the Capitol in 1814. Thomas Jefferson played a key role in rebuilding the collection. April 24th, 1962. The Massachusetts Institute of Technology achieved the first satellite relay of a television signal between Camp
Parks, California, and Westford, Massachusetts. It was made possible by the Telstar 1 satellite, key components of which were designed by scientists at MIT. April 24th, 2003, Federal Fisheries Minister Robert Thibault announced a fishing ban off the northeast coast of Newfoundland and Labrador and the Gulf of St. Lawrence because of depleted stocks. The move closed 16 plants, most of them in Quebec and Newfoundland and Labrador, putting about 700 people out of work. Henry Winkler was warned filming a movie in the middle of a Winnipeg winter would be cold, and it exceeded expectations. The Hollywood legend was in town in November of 2024 to shoot Normal alongside Better Call Saul star Bob Odenkirk, and he had fun recounting the memorable experience on Late Night with Seth Meyers.
He invited me to Winnipeg.
That's where you shot the film.
Freezing cold.
Yes, that's what I've heard. I will say, I talked to Bob during the filming of the show in Winnipeg. He said it is as cold as you think. He also had very nice things to say about the people. He said were lovely. The restaurants were great.
It's a very good restaurant.
During production, he got a full taste of the elements when he had to film during a blizzard. It was ideal for the production team as the movie was set in Minnesota, but not so perfect for the Fonz.
It was so cold that a lot of me said, we're going home.
Interesting.
Yes. Not my feet, because they were in boots.
Got it.
But a lot of me...
So physically you were there, but like anybody acting with you would be like, Henry's not there.
Hard to concentrate.
Yeah, hard to concentrate. Wow.
Normal opened in theaters April 17th and is slated to hit digital streaming on May 19th. No word yet if Winkler is planning a return trip. Time now for this week's Adorable Adoptables. We begin with Cookie. Sweet as can be, Cookie is almost a year old and wants his forever family. He knows his basic commands and performs them very well. He also gets along with other dogs and walks like a dream. Next up is Martha, a young and endearing kitten. Martha embodies sweetness and curiosity, always eager to explore her surroundings. Though she may take a moment to warm up, once she does, she's incredibly cuddly and affectionate. And meet Abigail. This 2-year-old girl is a very friendly, playful, and has a loving personality. She adores attention, especially pets, and a good butt scratch, and is happiest when she's close to her people. If you think you can offer any of these animals a good home, just head down to the Winnipeg Humane Society or give them a call. The number is there on your screen. Coming up, beautiful classic cars, hot rods of all kinds. That's what you could expect to see when you visit Rodorama. We'll be back with Tandy Vera for more. Let's go back now to Tandy Vera, who's live at Rodorama this morning, showing us all kinds of beautiful vehicles. Hi, Tandy.
Hi, good morning. Yeah, we're talking Chevys right now, and I'm joined by my special guest here. Thank you for joining us this morning.
Okay, thank you for being here.
Yeah, absolutely. Now we're going to chat about the Chevy Club. Can you tell us about the history?
Well, it started in '74 in Saskatoon. The hot rodders wouldn't let the cars in because they were too new. Oh, we started a club.
That's amazing. And now at the back we have 10 Chevys behind us. Can you chat about them?
Well, this is a '57. It was a 4-door. Actually, he was in a bad accident 2 years ago and smashed this whole front corner up. So we had to replace the fender and the bumper and a bunch of the chrome. And then he got it painted.
And moving forward, what else do we have on display?
Well, we got 56 2-door hardtop, a 55 2-door hardtop. There's down the other end, there's a 57 2-door hardtop. We put a couple of 4-door sedans just so you can see what the difference is. And like this has 4 doors, so it's a family car.
That's super cool. And when people come down and they check it out, what do you want them to spot and see?
Just how good the paint jobs are.
And you yourself, you actually do some of the work on some of the cars, your own. Yeah, can you chat more about that?
Well, I've replaced in the red car there, the red and white car, I've replaced front and back windshields. Take them out and put them back in. I don't know, I do. This car here, we took it all apart right down to bare metal and took it off the frame and put it back on and all that kind of stuff. Took all the glass out and put it back in. And it's just fun.
And it's fun, and it's also so much work. How long does it take you to do that?
That car was about 2 years by the time start to finish. And he's got another one we're working on now.
That's so cool. So it's time, it's dedication. Now, to people who want to come on down, what's your message to them?
Just come down and enjoy. It's cheap enough. And there's a lot of different cars here. Like this DeSoto here is really an amazing car. You don't see any of them. they all got crushed.
That's so true. Well, thank you so much for joining us this morning. We're talking classics. We have more coming up.
Okay, thank you, Tandy. And yeah, today...
The way those cars shine, sorry for interrupting you, the way they're shining just shows you that they have not driven on Winnipeg streets lately. One time through the car wash, if it's not completely dry, the way the dust just...
Oh, I know. I can't keep my car clean.
No, it's impossible right now.
It's not much fun.
But those cars were glistening, weren't they?
Beautiful.
Yeah, so if you want to see some shiny cars, you got to head on down there. You're not going to see them driving around on the streets, even though the sun is shining and we are in for some drier conditions. All that dust still kicking around just means that everything is looking a little bit dirty these days. 1 degree with winds out of the west-southwest that are 18 kilometers per hour. The pressure is rising and the humidity sitting at 72%. Sunshine, though, so it is looking good. And honestly, I'll take the dust over the snow or the freezing rain because that's what northern Manitoba has been dealing with for the last couple of days and will for the next few right throughout the weekend. Precipitation will linger across northern Manitoba. I know it doesn't look like much right now, and that's just because it doesn't read on the northern half of the province. You can see the clouds, and within that cloud system is all of the freezing rain for the northeast or straight up snow further into the north, with those blizzard warnings still in place, freezing rain warnings that have been issued for the northeastern part of the province. And yeah, it is going to be an intensely windy day all across northern Manitoba. Now, we too will notice those winds increasing up to 50 kilometers per hour, and the temperatures will be a lot cooler today. We got spoiled with those mid-20 temperatures over the past couple of days, but today not even making it to seasonal. 14 degrees a normal high, 1 a normal low. So we're back to those low temperatures that are expected for this time of year, but our daytime highs still missing the mark, and tomorrow even cooler yet. And still with that breeze, but still with the sunshine. So honestly, as long as our sky conditions are looking good, you can just throw those extra layers on. We will perhaps see the sky conditions changing into the start of next week with some showers before the sunshine is back again.
The Winnipeg Police Service has issued a silver alert for a missing 57-year-old woman. Police say Elizabeth Van Reenen was last seen just before midnight on Tuesday in the area of Henderson Highway and Gilmore Avenue. She's 5 feet 8 inches tall with a heavy build, gray hair and brown eyes. Van Reenen was last seen wearing a black jacket and black Velcro shoes. The Winnipeg Police Service activates a silver alert when a vulnerable adult person is reported as missing. The Winnipeg Police Service is concerned for Van Reenen's well-being and is asking anyone with any information regarding her whereabouts to contact the Missing Persons Unit at 204-986-6250. A healthcare worker advocacy group is raising alarm over the growing rate of vacancies in rural paramedics.
These are not just numbers. This is a growing crisis that could affect anyone living in Manitoba or traveling in Manitoba.
It's Jason Linklater, president of the Manitoba Association of Healthcare Providers. His comments come as new data acquired through Freedom of Information requests and shared with CTV News shows 1 in every 4 paramedic positions in the province were vacant at the end of 2025. That's up from just shy of 15% just 2 years earlier. There were some modest improvements between 2024 and 2025. However, the association says the province is simply not keeping up with attrition.
With more than 1 in 4 paramedic positions vacant and response times sometimes exceeding 1 hour, it seems like we're going backwards. This crisis was not inevitable, it didn't have to happen, and it can be fixed with dedicated attention and resources.
Among the solutions being put forward is a call for more direct entry education seats, a subsidized pathway for emergency medical responders to become paramedics, and incentives for hard-to-fill positions. Health Minister Uzama Azaguera suggested some of the numbers being referenced may be out of date, saying there has been a net gain of 41 paramedics. Azaguera also said the province is working with post-secondary institutions to create a pathway for emergency medical responders to become paramedics.
An EMR to PCP, which is a primary care paramedic, to ACP, which is an advanced care paramedic. That's what we're talking about. EMRs are the first step. We're going to get folks to being PCPs, and then hopefully they can become ACPs in time.
Azaguera added the province still has a goal of hiring 200 more paramedics. A U.S. Special Forces soldier involved in the capture of Venezuelan President Nicolás Maduro has been arrested and charged for allegedly betting on that operation. He bet $32,000 that Maduro would be out by January. That alleged bet made the soldier $400,000. According to an unsealed indictment, Master Sergeant Gannon Ken Van Dyke opened an account on Pulley Market in late December. Prosecutors allege Van Dyke was involved in planning and executing the operation and had access to classified information before placing his bet. His winnings, though anonymous, attracted attention from law enforcement immediately. Excessive naps could be a warning sign of underlying health conditions for older adults. This is according to new research published in JAMA Network Open. The study found longer and more frequent naps in adults 56 and older were connected to higher all-cause mortality. Researchers say morning naps in particular are a marker of increased mortality risk late in life. While naps can help you recharge, researchers warned excessive daytime napping in old age is linked to a wide range of health issues. A spokesperson for the Iranian government says its men's national team is gearing up to take part in the World Cup. Iran is scheduled to play 2 group stage games in the U.S. Its participation has been up in the air since the Iran war began. FIFA has always said it expects Iran to play. U.S. President Donald Trump, meanwhile, has floated the idea to replace Iran with Italy. We have some road closures to remind you about this morning. Following the rush hours, all eastbound lanes on Lombard Avenue will be closed from Rory to Westbrook Street. The westbound curb and middle lanes on Pioneer Avenue will be closed between Westbrook and Main Street. And the northbound curb lane on Balmoral Street will be closed from Spence Street to Broadway. If you have any other traffic tips, let us know, please. And here's a look now at your gas prices. In Winnipeg, the average is $1.65, higher than yesterday. And the lowest price in the city is $1.45 at 204 Fuels and also on Kendall's. All this information is on GasBuddy.com.
The Price at the Pump is brought to you by the Kidney Foundation. Help by donating your card today.
Right now, it is 1 degree, but it's beautiful and sunny out there. We're going to be right back after this with more Your Morning Winnipeg.
A beautiful, sunny start to your day, but that camera is shaking and the winds will be strong once again. Right now it's 1 degree with an 18K wind out of the west-southwest. The pressure rising, the humidity sitting at 72%. This is actually just a moderate wind compared to what we're expecting today. You probably noticed those winds yesterday, intense through the afternoon, kicking around all of that dust. But I'd rather have winds kicking around the dust than kicking around the snow. And for northern Manitoba, once again, blizzard warnings remaining in place, so near zero visibility expected because of that falling, blowing snow, and that's the most northern part of the province. In the kind of northeastern part of the province, just a little bit south of the more central part, I guess, that's where the freezing rain warning is, around the Island Lake area. And you will notice that freezing rain then through that more like kind of north central stretch, but the blizzard-like conditions up in the far northern part of the province. Or it's actually a winter storm warning in around Flin Flon. You might not be seeing quite as much accumulation, but overall this system continuing. It will begin to taper off later on today, but still kind of lingering over the course of the weekend. So still into Saturday, probably even Sunday, you'll be dealing with that light and scattered snow, even though it'll be easing. Now, we had those storms yesterday morning or late the night before, but then it cleared out. It was a beautiful day. We still got up into the mid-20s yesterday. Then this morning, well, actually, it was yesterday evening, those temperatures really started to drop off. Back down to the freezing mark this morning, and it'll be a much cooler day, struggling to even get to seasonal values with some strong winds in place. Clearer conditions, plenty of sunshine to enjoy, but cooler temperatures, stronger winds, and that's how things will play out across southern Manitoba throughout the rest of the weekend. And then even next week, we're looking at these below seasonal temperatures, because 14 degrees is actually normal for this time of year. We're not going to get there today. We'll be even further from it tomorrow, and still Sunday slightly shy of seasonal, though the sun will shine throughout the weekend. It's not until next week that it looks like we're going to get hit with that precipitation before we're back to the sunshine, but those cooler temperatures remain.
There are so many beautiful vehicles at Rodorama this morning and set up there for the weekend, and it takes a lot of dedication to build a car that can be featured on that show floor. Good morning, Tandy.
Good morning, Rochelle. And yeah, it takes so much time and dedication, and that's what we're going to chat about with our next guest, Rob. Thank you for joining us this morning.
Pleasure to be here.
Now, Rob, you've been building cars for almost 25 years plus, and we have this beautiful car in front of us. Can you chat a bit about the history?
It used to belong to my mom and dad. It actually came out of Portage, Portage La Prairie. It was a wreck out there for years. It had Tony's Grosseteria printed on the side of it. I saw the car for years when I drove through Portage before they built the bypass, and a friend of mine in Winnipeg here bought the car. It was just a shell. I bought it off of him, gave it to my dad, and then the two of us put it together over a couple of years through the late 70s and early 80s, and it's been in the family ever since. We just drive all over the place in it. Yep.
And you have so many beautiful memories in the car as well.
Absolutely. My mom and dad and I and my girlfriend would travel all over the place in different events and things like that, and we would, sometimes my mom and dad slept in this thing because we'd get someplace and the hotels were full or whatever, but yeah, we had lots of memories in it. And again, Mom and Dad drove it up to the lake every weekend for many, many years. And again, like, I don't name my cars, but my last name is Rose, so my mom always referred to this car as Rosie. So it's Rosie's Delivery, and that's the way I just always refer to it, Rosie. So in honor of my mom. Yeah.
That's so beautiful, Rosie's Delivery. We love that.
Yep.
And you've been part of the club for a while now, and there's so much connection being part of that club. Can you speak more on that?
Yeah, I've been a member now for 50 years, and it's a great bunch of people. Love hanging around with them. Yeah, 50 years of just the same. You come in for the cars, but you stay for the people. Just great people. Love them all. We all get along great. And, yep, great memories of traveling all over the place, different hot rod events and stuff like that, and long-term friends that I've known for over 50 years in this group. And it's awesome. Yeah.
That's amazing. Well, thank you so much for joining us this morning. And yes, Rotorama is so much about connection as well as with the club. So we're going to be chatting more about that later on during the show.
Thank you, Tandy. We have a stunning new look at an underwater world most of us have never seen. CTV's Paul Hollingsworth on the deep dive into what lies beneath the Halifax harbor.
Whenever Wayne Joy has a free moment, this is what he loves to do.
I average about 150 dives a year.
On every dive, he brings his underwater camera.
I describe it as therapy. When you're down there, you're weightless. You're just floating along.
Joy is always busy taking pictures and recently sharing colorful images of the deep ocean water of Halifax Harbor.
Stuff that people don't expect to see here in the waters around Nova Scotia. We see a lot of small stuff, nudibranchs, shrimp, and those sort of things. And as the water warms, we're going to start seeing bigger fish coming in. The lobster will return, and then they just keep getting bigger and more unusual.
These pictures also highlight the fact that Halifax Harbor is a healthy and thriving marine environment, which wasn't always the case. In 2008, a sewage treatment facility began cleaning up the heavily polluted harbor. The result is a prosperous environment, conducive to growth for numerous species, organisms, and blooms of vegetation.
We've actually done some environmental DNA studies in the harbor, and we've detected over 40 species of fish, as well as nearly 100 species of invertebrates, ranging from tiny little plankton to, again, things like sea stars and larger mussels and crabs.
Joy calls it a photographer's paradise.
Life has taken off down there.
Taking and sharing these pictures is his favorite hobby.
For people that don't get to go themselves or have yet to have the opportunity,
it's a stunning snapshot of underwater life in the North Atlantic. Paul Hollingsworth, CTV News, Halifax.
Let's see who's celebrating a milestone today. Happy 66th birthday, Barry, with love and appreciation from everyone. Happy 17th birthday to Annalie from Cuckoo, Papa, Ray, and Monty. Congratulations, Priya and Sim, on your engagement. Your friend Imran wishes you all the best. Happy 11th birthday, Tucker. Love Dad, Mom, Cooper, and Winston. Happy 10th birthday, Lauren. Love Mom, Dad, Jackson, Sadie, Maple, and the rest of the family. Happy 5th birthday, Declan and Leo. Love from all your family. Happy 16th birthday, Cedra. Love Grandma and Grandpa. Happy birthday, Brad. Love Alex, Violet, and Aaron. Happy birthday, Sarah. With much love always from Mom and Dad. Happy 81st birthday to Mama Merle from Sweet Peter, PJ, and grandchildren Russell, Ryland, Rihanna, Nicole, Mwamwa, Jader, and Jacob. And happy 82nd birthday, Joanne, from Ron, who says you're the love of his life. To submit your milestone, visit our website, ctvnewswinnipeg.ca, and fill out the form at least 2 days in advance. It'll also enter you into our monthly contest for a chance of winning a $100 gift certificate to Party Stuff.
Milestones is brought to you by Party Stuff, Winnipeg's balloon headquarters with 3 locations. Weather is brought to you by Mr. Lube Plus Tires. Same-day oil and tire changes.
All right, a little bit of a change up with those temperatures compared to where we've been the past couple of days, but we got spoiled, and now it's a return to what is normal. High of 12 degrees today, when actually 14 is seasonal, so we'll be just shy of it today. Last year, we were just beyond it. At 15.6 degrees, that would have seemed quite pleasant, but look at back in 1982, 29 degrees. Honestly, we were closer to those numbers yesterday in those mid-20s with packed patios. Until yesterday evening, the winds increased, the dust was flying, patios kind of emptied out a little bit as those temperatures started to fall off, and then we found ourselves back to the freezing mark this morning, and we're now starting to make those gains again. So 1 degree at the moment with winds out of the west-southwest, 18 kilometers per hour. The pressure rising and the humidity sitting at 72%. Seeing blue sky and sunshine, it really is a beautiful looking day, but it is going to be a little bit breezy and a little bit below seasonal. But still, I will take a breeze and slightly below seasonal temperatures over all of the snow or freezing rain that northern Manitoba endures again, with all of the warnings in place, the blizzard warnings for the far north, northeastern Manitoba under those freezing rain warnings, and parts of the northwest under winter storm watches, but all having to do with that same system that'll linger through the day today. And in fact, it's still going to be sticking around throughout the entire weekend, though today we'll still be on the more intense side, starting to ease after that with a slightly less intense activity continuing through Saturday, Sunday.
Thank you, Terry. A new TV series called Geekopolis is celebrating Manitobans who are obsessed with cool things or activities. The local show will launch on, or has launched on Bell 5 TV1, and will have a live screening event at the Park Theatre next Tuesday. And joining us now are the show's writer and host, Quinn Green, and the producer, Jeff Newman. Good morning to both of you.
Good morning.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah.
Now, this is about Manitoba. Manitoba people that are into some really cool, geeky things, right?
Yes, yeah,
So explain
absolutely.
where this idea came from for you.
Well, I've been a geek for my whole life. You know, everything from Star Wars to Lego, and you know, and I've played Dungeons and Dragons for many years. So you know, I'm very, very passionate about these things, and I have a community of people that I really love. I'm also a film geek, so you know, those types of folks, you get together and you can really geek out about a lot of different things. So when we started coming up with an idea for, you know, we wanted to put on a show that really showcased Manitoba. We were like, well, why don't we just find people who are so passionate about what they love, just like me, and I can go and explore these different worlds that exist that you might not know are right outside your door.
Okay, so let's talk about some of these worlds you've discovered. What are some of their geeky obsessions, for example?
Well, one of them was a post-apocalyptic LARP. So that would be if you like Fallout or Mad Max or The Walking Dead. So these folks are huge fans, so they go out to this property. It's a 40-acre property in Labroquerie. This huge space with forests, and they've built little towns, and hundreds of people will go out. They'll swing foam swords. They'll shoot each other with darts. They've got like colored smoke that makes it look like there's like real, like, you know, crazy adventures going on. So yeah, and they spend the whole weekend out there. We did an episode on burlesque, the burlesque scene, with a local company called Prairie Diva. So they do these huge shows at the Park Theatre and different venues every year with hundreds of folks coming out. And burlesque is spicy.
A little naughty.
A little naughty. I did burlesque for the episode because I usually join in with the fun. So I'll dress up as my favorite LARP character. I was like a steampunk bard, which, you know, I had like a monocle and whatever. And then I did burlesque, which is, I'll just say, burlesque performers are brave.
Oh, it sounds so fun. And so what was the coolest thing you discovered about Manitoba? Even you, Jeff, like, you've been telling stories about Manitobans for a long time, but are you still learning new things about us?
Oh, it's incredible, actually. You know, like a show like this, through the eyes of Quinn, to get into these worlds, it's amazing how many different communities exist of people that are really passionate about, you know, almost obsessive, right? And whatever age, culture, ethnicity, doesn't really matter, getting into these things and celebrating it, because I mean, being a nerd back when I was a kid was, you know, was a put down, right?
Right.
But nowadays it's like something really to be celebrated and really to be proud of. So we just wanted to showcase that. So if you're interested in these worlds, you know, it's a cool way to see what's out there. And Quinn really makes it, because he gets all into everything.
Sounds like
his
it.
burlesque performance is amazing.
Yeah, I tried my best. Yeah.
What do you want people to know about the show? There's how many episodes, and what will they discover?
So there's 6 episodes. They're all on Bell 5 TV1 right now. And again, if you have a passion for something, if you've really wanted to, oh, I really love Lego, or I really love video games.
Yeah.
There's a community of folks out there who are just as passionate as you, that love it just as much, and they're all here in Manitoba. You know, this is a Manitoba production. All of the crew is Manitoban, and all of the subjects are Manitoban, and so there's a place for you out there. There's a place that people will accept you and love you, and these communities are people who are not only obsessed about what they love to do, but about spending time with each other and making memories with each other, which is really beautiful.
We're almost out of time already. You're launching the series at the Park Theatre.
Yes.
Do you think you're going to launch more episodes, because more of these geeky people are coming out after they've seen the show?
Well, yeah, we would hope so. We have seasons from years ago that are that have other folks in the province, but yes, we would love to continue to showcase all these amazing worlds right at our back door.
Okay, tell us about Tuesday quickly.
Tuesday is at the Park Theatre. It will be 7:30 p.m. We are going to have, it's a live event, so we're going to have not only all the episodes, but we'll have a LARP demonstration. We'll have a lightsaber demonstration with the River City Sabres, and we'll have a little bit of burlesque. I won't be doing that.
It'll be jam-packed. Quinn doesn't do anything halfway, so it's going to be
Well, thanks for sharing this. Congrats on the series, and if you want more information, we have a link on our website.
Hello there, Kara Wagland inside the SportsCenter newsroom with your must-see moment from Thursday. And for it, we are off to Atlanta. Knicks and Hawks Game 3. Dyson Daniels from downtown misses. Onyeka Okongwu comes from out of nowhere to slam this one home. He times it perfectly, outjumps everyone to throw it down. That helped the Hawks to a narrow win. They now lead the series 2-1. Okongwu has your must-see moment from Thursday. And coming up tonight on TSN, we got a little NBA playoff double dip for you. Game 3 between the Lakers and Rockets. That's followed by Game 3 between the Spurs and Blazers. It all gets underway at 8 p.m. Eastern. That's all for now from SportsCenter. Have a great day.
The TSN must-see moment is brought to you by Super Blinds and Draperies, featuring Hunter Douglas products.
It's Friday, April 24th. Threatening waters. Homeowners in a couple of Interlake communities are watching nervously as the Icelandic River rises. WestJet's got a brand new bag check fee. How much more could travelers pay as the airline joins its competitors in attempting to address fuel costs? And 2 friends become instant millionaires many times over as they share in a history-making jackpot. Your Morning Winnipeg starts right now. Good morning. Happy Friday to you. It is 8 o'clock. Thank you so much for staying with us here on Your Morning Winnipeg. Now, some people with disabilities might have some questions about where they can access certain issues or certain resources if they're looking for something and they can't find answers. Well, a brand new resource is now available where they can find the answers they're looking for when it comes to where they can get their rights or where they can get certain services or programs. So we're going to talk a little bit more about that resource and why it's important right now and always, really.
Of course.
Let's talk about the weather, though. We're kind of missing a target.
I know. So here's the thing. It's nowhere near as nice as it's been the last couple of days, but we're still dodging the biggest bullet because northern Manitoba dealing with that intense storm system still, and it's going to continue all throughout the weekend, even though it will start to taper off. But still, this morning, things are not looking good up north. Meanwhile, they're still looking good here in the south. They're just not feeling quite as good. We've fallen back to the freezing mark and now have risen to 1 degree. with some sunshine, with some winds. They're out of the west-southwest right now, 18 kilometers per hour. The pressure rising, humidity at 72%. I mean, just yesterday, we were waking up to temperatures 14 degrees. That would be a normal daytime high. We ended up soaring into the mid-20s. It was a beautiful, mild, but windy day. And then those winds increased into the evening time. Temperatures started to fall off through the evening yesterday and then right down to the freezing mark this morning. So it does seem cool comparatively, but still, compared to what is normal, we're doing okay. And compared to northern Manitoba, we're really doing okay, because for northern Manitoba, you're still dealing with this. The blizzard warnings remaining in place in the far north, the freezing rain warnings, the winter storm watch, and all of this will continue, like I said, for the next couple of days. Now, yesterday, quite intense. Today, still quite intense. As it continues on through the weekend, it will start to taper off a little bit, but still remaining a little bit of a nuisance. And of course, it's not just the system bringing the precipitation. You're also dealing with some very strong winds on top of all of that. At times, they could be gusting to 70, maybe even 80 kilometers per hour across the north. Meanwhile, our winds up to 50 clicks, nowhere near as bad, but the temperatures will be a little bit cool. Sunshine, though, expected through the weekend. And our art today is a big old thank you to Ava, 9 years old. And what a beautiful job you've done with this painting. I love to see that. And I'd love to see more of whatever it is you're working on. So send your art to us now through our website, ctvnewswinnipeg.ca. And when you submit it through that website, you're entered to win a $100 gift card from Crockadoodle on Kenniston.
The weather art of the day is brought to you by Crockadoodle. Spend quality time with loved ones and paint memories together.
Some communities along the Icelandic River are in danger from rising water. Homeowners in Arborg and Riverton say they haven't seen the river this high since 2022.
Well, it's higher than it's been quite a few years, but in 2022 it was a little bit higher than it is now.
Water from the Icelandic River in Arborg is creeping into John Dewick's yard. The province says with warmer temperatures and continued snowmelt, the Icelandic River and Fisher River in the Interlake region are under a flood warning. Levels have spilled over the banks in some locations. Town and municipal officials in Arborg are working to flood-proof the area as the water level has gone up in recent days. It's holding now, but the community is preparing for more just in case.
From what we see forecasted, yes, there's a good potential that more water can come. And nobody wants to let their guard down.
So thousands of sandbags are being made available for homeowners. Officials are cautioning people to think they might, if they think they might need, not to wait until the last minute. So there's also some overland flooding. This road is closed and ice has been broken up along the river here to prevent ice jams. WestJet is joining other airlines in charging more for checked luggage. Travelers will now have to pay $10 more for their first or second checked bag. That number drops to $5 if you signed up for checked baggage beforehand. But if your bag is oversized or overweight, that will cost $50 more. This is WestJet's third increase to baggage fees in 3 years. Air Canada announced a price hike last week. The first bag fee for economy basic passengers is increasing from $35 to $45 for travelers within Canada or to and from the U.S. Official CUSMA talks have not yet started between Canada and the U.S., but according to the new ambassador to the United States, we're ready.
Prepared. We have done our homework, and we are ready to proceed.
In his first address to parliamentarians, Mark Wiseman told members of the Foreign Affairs and International Development Committee that Canada is willing to start the mandatory Canada-U.S.-Mexico agreement review. July 1st is the date the three countries need to either approve a renewal of the existing CUSMA agreement or decide to exit the pact. Informal talks have been ongoing with officials taking shots at each other over the way they've tackled trade this year. Mexico and the U.S. have already set an official date for their first round CUSMA talks to begin, but Wiseman says there has been no date set for official talks between Canada and the U.S. Here's a look now at what's going on in traffic along Osborne Street. It looks like things are moving well over here. We have no issues to tell you about. If you see anything out there, though, please let us know.
Traffic is brought to you by Mr. Lube Plus Tires. No appointment needed.
Let's go back now to Tandy Vera, who's sitting in a beautiful car this morning. Lots of hot rods and classic cars at Rodorama. It looks good on you, Tandy.
Thank you, Rochelle. I'm in a Chevy 2, which is super cool. I've never been in one before, so I want to thank our guest Frank for letting me be in one. He's joining us this morning. Now, Frank, can you tell us a bit more about this sweet ride?
Yes, it's a 1965 Chevy 2 Nova. It was built in a competition, I guess, to compete with the Ford Falcon back in 1965. The Chevrolet didn't have a small car at the time, so this was introduced then as an economy vehicle for GM.
And you've customized it a bit so that it'd be comfortable?
I've tried, yeah. I want to make it so I can drive it, of course, and be comfortable in it. I've done a few things to it. I bought the car basically as is, but I have done some modifications like seats. I've done some work on the powertrain. It's got power steering now, which it didn't have when I bought the car, and little things like the seats, like I said, to just make it a bit more comfortable.
And you've been a part of the club for a while now. How's that experience been for you so far? Since 1995, if I'm correct.
I joined the MSRA in 1995. My kids were growing up at the time, and I had a bit more free time. I was looking for something to do, and I bought a car. I bought a 1967, similar to this, a 67 Chevy 2. And I was looking for camaraderie mostly, and, access to parts and information, and I've achieved that. I've been with the club since then. I've been involved with the Rotorama, with the car show for over 20 years, and it's been enjoyable. A lot of friends through the club now, and in fact, most of my friends now exist through the car club.
And it's important to have that connection because it's not just about the cars, but the people behind them as well.
Well, absolutely. My wife and I participate in this event and other events through the car club. She has absolutely no interest in the car, but as long as we have friends, then we go to events, and she's willing to participate. But as far as the car, as long as she knows the color, that's about the extent of her knowledge of cars.
Well, thank you so much for joining us this morning, and thank you for letting me, be in this sweet ride.
It is a sweet ride indeed. Thank you, Tandy. Thank you, Frank. Vaping, it seems, is the new smoking. Montreal Public Health says teenagers are vaping at rates they were smoking cigarettes 15 years ago. CTV's Olivia O'Malley reports.
It's lunchtime, and these teenagers have wandered off school grounds to vape. The students we spoke to are minors, so we will not identify them.
I started in Sec 1, fully, but in grade 6 I was kind of vaping.
I kind of started when I was young because my mom vapes, and she would leave her vapes around, so I would ooh, what's this?
Montreal Public Health just published its report on the health of high schoolers. From 2016 to 2023, alcohol, drug, and tobacco use among teens all dropped, but officials say vaping has grown in popularity, and it's due to a variety of factors.
These products are super attractive to use. They have sweet flavors. They have they're nice objects to be shown.
Report author Emmanuelle Prairie says one finding surprised her the most. For the first time, girls are doing drugs, drinking alcohol, and vaping more than boys.
Girls are also more likely to use as a coping mechanism. They have a tendency to internalize symptoms or negative emotions, whereas boys more use for risk-taking.
She says it's part of a broader problem. Girls' overall health has declined since the pandemic.
I feel like it helps me in the stress and certain situations, if I'm arguing with someone, just my vape's there, just puff it and I'll calm down.
It's mostly cause stress and anxiety and mental health and stuff like that.
It's illegal for people under 18 to buy vapes, but they're finding ways to get them. Prairie says this is concerning because of the impacts on their cardiovascular and respiratory systems.
Nicotine is a highly addictive substance. We do not want our youth to be using this highly addictive product. It can impact their health and well-being.
Public Health says it will continue to work with schools on prevention programs in the hopes that more kids spend their lunch break without a vape in hand. Olivia O'Malley, CTV News.
And we're Looking outside now through the CTV Live Eye, brought to you by Bathfitter, exclusive home of the PermaFit solution. It is looking good this morning. We're lucking in with the sunshine. You're going to notice it's a little bit cool, sunshine, cooler temperatures, and again, that breeze. That breeze got pretty intense through the afternoon yesterday. It's not quite that bad this morning, but it will likely increase throughout the day today. As far as temperatures go, yeah, it is a little bit cooler. I mean, yesterday we woke up to 14 degrees. That's a normal daytime high. Fell back to the freezing mark this morning, but the sun is out and we're starting to make some gains. It is now 3 degrees in Winnipeg. We are still seeing some just below freezing temperatures through the more central part of the province. And then up into the north, yes, colder yet and snowier. That system continues to wreak havoc all across northern Manitoba. We talked about it yesterday. We talked about the blizzard warnings, the freezing rain warnings in the northeast, the winter storm watch for northwestern Manitoba, and all of that will continue to be a factor throughout the day today. And in fact, throughout the weekend, although today things will still be a little intense, and then it will start to ease and taper off throughout Saturday, Sunday, but still kind of lingering all weekend long. Meanwhile, lingering here in the south will be plenty of sunshine for us. 4 degrees as kids get into the classroom. Noontime temps will take us to 7, 10 degrees for the time they're coming home, and 12 are expected high. Now, that is below seasonal, 14 degrees. That's normal for this time of year. We're not going to get there today. We're not going to get there this weekend, and along with the sunshine will be that breeze. Now, next week, a round of precipitation to kick things off on Monday. But after that, the sunshine is back, but these temperatures still stick just a little bit below what you'd expect this time of year. We're taking a break right now, but stick around. We'll be back in just a moment with Your Morning Winnipeg.
Intel shares are on track to hit their highest level ever after the chipmaker delivered a blockbuster sales forecast that shattered Wall Street expectations. Intel shares soared as much as 31% in pre-market trading on Friday, setting up the stock to surpass its last peak from 26 years ago. It had gained 81% this year heading into the report. SAP is reporting revenue growth from its cloud services that beat analyst estimates after Europe's biggest software company began integrating artificial intelligence agents into the service. SAP says the current cloud backlog, a measure of deals growth coming in the next 12 months, was 25% at constant currencies, in line with analysts' estimates. Chinese regulators plan to restrict technology firms, including some of the country's highest profile, from accepting U.S. capital without government approval, part of Beijing's broader response to Meta's controversial acquisition of startup Manus. Agencies, including the National Development and Reform Commission, have told several private firms in recent weeks they should reject capital of U.S. origin in funding rounds unless explicitly approved, according to people familiar with the matter. Those are your morning business headlines. For BNN Bloomberg, I'm Roger Peterson.
A new online resource has been created to help people with disabilities know their rights and where to access services they need. The web page is called My Rights Matter, and it was created by people with disabilities for people with disabilities. And joining us now to tell us more are Philip Bielk from the Inclusive Minds Committee and St. Amand's Bree Brown. Good morning to both of you.
Morning.
Hi, Philip.
Hi, Rochelle.
Thank you so much for being with us. Now let's talk about the challenges people with disabilities face when it comes to accessing either information or resources. What is the biggest challenge with that, Philip?
Oppression. People face a lot of obstacles and all this, everything that, people with disabilities have to go through is a lot.
And you're tired of it.
Oh, yes,
yeah.
I am.
You're tired of it, and you wanted to help other people who were facing the same challenges as you, right?
That's right.
Why was that important to you?
It was important to me because I am a person with a disability.
And Bree, working at St. Amand, there are so many other people looking for access to some resources that couldn't find it. This is probably something that they found every day, right?
Absolutely, yeah. And this website is truly from an agency perspective or a service provider and community member perspective. It's about supporting authentic leadership. And that really means recognizing and respecting that people are experts in their own lives. It means really listening, making space, and getting out of the way so that they can lead. It's about challenging stereotypes and stigma and the way things have always been done. we really need to make sure that self-advocates have a seat at the table, that they're connected to decision makers, and that they have the support and resources they need to lead. And that's the only way to inclusion.
Right. Okay, so Philip, tell us about this website, because it has a lot of great information. You were instrumental in putting it together. You worked hard on this project. Tell us a little bit about that.
People with disabilities face stigma. I don't take it for granted that I am a male Caucasian male born from immigrant parents, because this is Treaty 1 territory. I am a person with a disability. The Indigenous people walked this land before my parents immigrated from Poland.
And so you wanted to help people by creating this website, right?
Absolutely.
So what was your part in this? You actually created a video, and you conducted some interviews. Tell us about that part.
It's about executive directors and CEOs. I interviewed them about self-advocate committees. Accountability should be taken everywhere. And if people don't take accountability, then our needs can't be met.
Okay, and so this website is accessible to who?
To everyone. Yes. Philip, you shared a wonderful message with me about learning being universal.
Tell us about that, Philip.
Everybody has access to free online resources.
Yep.
It doesn't matter what it is. Winnipeg Free Press passages are free. Anything. We should have access to everything that is free, that anyone can enjoy and view.
Well, you must be so proud of yourself, because I checked out the website. It's pretty incredible. My Rights Matter. If you want more information, we have a link on our website as well. Thank you, Philip. Thank you, Bree.
Thank you.
Stepping outside, you might want that extra layer on this morning. The temperatures are a little bit cooler than what we got spoiled with the past few days. Yesterday, for example, we woke up to 14 degrees. Now, that's a normal daytime high. Those numbers, they're done for a little while, and we're back to slightly below seasonal temperatures now throughout today, the weekend, and even continuing into next week. It's 3 degrees currently. Winds out of the west-southwest. They're 14 kilometers per hour. The pressure is rising. The humidity sitting at 62%. But the conditions are looking good, even if the temperatures are a little bit cool. So blue sky, sunshine above, and it will still warm us up. Don't get me wrong. It's not a cold day. We're just not quite getting to what is normal for this time of year. And with those temperatures just a couple degrees shy of seasonal, we'll also deal with some stronger winds. Now, that's still far better than what northern Manitoba is dealing with again. That storm settled in yesterday, continues throughout today. Really still quite intense with the blizzard warnings in the far north, freezing rain warnings or winter storm watch warnings. And while today will still be a little more intense, it will start to taper off after that. However, Saturday and into Sunday, it will still linger, just considerably lighter as it begins to taper off. Here in the south, sunshine expected to last throughout the weekend, but the winds will be pretty noticeable, maybe a little bit of a nuisance. And this storm, I mean, listen, nobody loves to see them rolling through, but it did make for some stunning photos. Thanks to Julia for sharing this one. Keep the pictures coming to Winnipeg Weather at CTV.ca.
Weather is brought to you by Strictly Amish, exclusively in Arborg, Manitoba.
I'm with Brent Poplawski today at Sport MB. Obviously, you recognize where we're standing here. We're talking about safe sport today. So, Brent, for people at home that may not be familiar, give us a little bit of an overview about what safe sport even is.
That's a good question, because there's really no consensus or agreed upon definition of safe sport right now in Canada. Different organizations and stakeholders define it slightly differently. But in saying that, the general goal of safe sport is to ensure that maltreatment does not occur in sport environments. That's kind of the primary focus right now. But in saying that, we do believe that safe sport goes beyond that. We feel that safe sport is not about strictly preventing and addressing maltreatment. It's also about creating positive experiences for everybody, and that's why it's so important. We know that maltreatment can occur in sport, and we know that maltreatment can be quite detrimental to a victim or a survivor, but we also know that there are numerous potential benefits that come with playing sports. So we just feel that, and those benefits can only be realized if maltreatment doesn't occur. So that's why Safe Sport is so important, because of its intent to prevent maltreatment and create those positive experiences.
Yeah, and I like the fact that you really focus too on creating those positive experiences. I mean, of course, obviously preventing maltreatment is so important, but just making sure that kids are having a great time doing something that they're passionate about gives them all of those building blocks for a successful life and a successful future, right? Now, let's talk a little bit about a new act that's been implemented.
Yeah, the Protecting Youth in Sport Act, it just came into effect earlier this month, and it's provincial legislation that goes a long way in advancing safe sport in Manitoba. Primarily what it does is it requires all provincial sport organizations in Manitoba to adopt certain policies that now allow all of their participants to report any allegations of maltreatment directly to an independent third party. And that's really important. It reduces any potential conflict of interest. It provides a safe place for participants to report a complaint. And it actually helps the sport organizations, because now they can focus on other matters like operating their sport programs. So the act goes a long way in helping sport organizations, and it goes, more importantly, it goes a long way in safeguarding children in sport.
Okay, yeah, nice to know that that support is coming behind you as well. All right, now that's just one great way and a step forward in the right direction. But let's talk about how people can maybe help out as well. What would we be looking for if somebody wants to, get involved?
One of the best things you can do is educate yourself in this field. People need to understand how they should and how they should not conduct themselves in sport. And they need to have an understanding of what maltreatment is. There's a lot of behaviors that fall under that definition, and they need to know what's unacceptable and what needs to be reported. And also, by having an understanding of what maltreatment is, you'll have an understanding of what it is not. And that's really important right now. Not every setback in sport is considered maltreatment, and this movement isn't about bubble wrapping young athletes. It's important for them to be challenged in sport, but there's a difference between being challenged and experiencing maltreatment. So best thing you can do is educate yourself, and I encourage you to do so by visiting our website at sportmanitoba.ca/safesport and have a look at our resources that are available.
Excellent. A lot of information can be found online. Thanks so much for having the chat today.
Thank you.
This report is brought to you by Sport Manitoba, growing sport, wellness, and community.
Wake up and win with CTV Your Morning and Manitoba Blue Cross. We could pay your bills with a massive $20,000. Now imagine what you could do with an extra 20 grand. The possibilities are endless. Today's code word is bonus. Head to the contest page at ctvwinnipeg.ca or scan the QR code on your screen. Enter bonus with your info for your chance to win the Your Morning $20,000 Pay Your Bills contest, brought to you by Manitoba Blue Cross, your local trusted health benefits provider. Tune in Monday for another code word. Good luck.
There's a look outside, 3 degrees, but the sun is shining. It's looking good. It's a little bit breezy, though, a 14K wind out of the west-southwest. The pressure is rising, and the humidity sitting at 62%. That little bit of a breeze will become a much stronger wind again later on today. You noticed them throughout yesterday, but yesterday we had much warmer temperatures, where today things will be a little bit cooler, but still, I will take the sunshine and the slightly cooler temperatures over anything that northern Manitoba is dealing with, because yesterday those storms settled in, and today they continue. You remain under blizzard warnings across the most northern stretch of the province and into the northeast. Just a little bit further south of that, it's freezing rain warnings or winter storm watch for parts of the northwest, right around the Flin Flon area. So all of this activity will still be on the more intense side today, and then still continuing throughout the weekend, though it will begin to taper off tomorrow and through Sunday, though scattered flakes are still expected throughout the entire weekend. Now, southern Manitoba, yes, we'll deal with the winds, but the conditions far better than anything that you're experiencing up north, because it is a little bit clearer, which means a little more sunshine, but slightly cooler temperatures. We've been spoiled the last couple of days with the mercury up in the mid-20s. well, that's well above seasonal. 14 degrees normal for this time of year, and we'll be just a little bit shy of it today, and in fact over the next few days. But sunshine to last through the weekend. Next week, a little bit of a different story. We kick it off with some showers, and then we'll see these temperatures still below normal, but at least we'll see that sunshine back through much of next week.
The situation remains tense at Peguis First Nation as floodwaters threaten the community. But Thursday evening, Peguis Chief Stan Bird expressed some optimism.
As of this evening, I have been informed that the river may have crested and could begin to recede over the next couple of days. The key word is may, and out of an abundance of caution, we must remain diligent. Basements can still flood. Road access can still be affected. Drinking water could be impacted. And floodwaters from the south may not have reached their full volume yet.
In the same social media message, Chief Bird praised his community's preventative efforts. The First Nation said on its Facebook page Thursday that Les Daniels and Pinecone Crossing have both been closed, as well as a nearby roadway. Water from the river has begun washing over it along the culvert. Now crews are currently in the process of cutting open the road to allow the water to flow and to relieve pressure in the area. Meantime, 12 have already been evacuated, mainly residents with medical conditions and mobility concerns. And members of the Canadian Red Cross are on the ground already helping to assist.
From the Canadian Red Cross side, we're looking at supporting the community through these other means of, providing a warming center, building sandbags, providing volunteers to go out there and help with the flood mitigation barriers.
Heavy equipment has been working to break up ice over the past few days, and they're asking residents to avoid active work zones. Canada's largest ever lottery draw has been claimed by two longtime friends from London, Ontario.
$80 million!
Greg and Chris, whose last names were not released, won the $80 million Lotto Max jackpot last December. The two men, who moved here from Europe decades ago, met at an English class and have been friends ever since.
I never saw the money for my life. When I came to Canada, I worked in the factory almost 28 years. Thank you, Greg. Oh, you're welcome. You're the best, my friend.
The men say they worked hard building a life in Canada. Now they want to see the world and secure a financial future for their families. Some Manitobans are rethinking their upcoming travel plans in an effort to avoid sky-high flights due to rising jet fuel prices. As CTV's Joseph Bernacki found out, it has many adjusting their plans on the fly.
When she's not flipping burgers at North Star Drive-In, Marina DeRook travels to see her favorite bands.
We're heading to Toronto for a concert in June, and then I was hoping to return to Vegas for my birthday in September.
But what was once pretty straightforward is now tricky, as the cost of air travel soars due to the war in Iran. And some airlines have dropped flights completely.
The flights are just really expensive, and they're cutting out a lot of the direct flights, so it limits us kind of down to 1 day a week, so it's just hard with scheduling and all that.
At Travel Manitoba, Cody Chomiak, Vice President of Marketing, says road trips are the new trend this year, with many more Manitobans hitting the road.
People wanting to take to the road, whether that's in their car or an RV. We see huge interest from the Quebec market, as an example, who love to RV across Canada, and really check out those places in Manitoba.
On a sunny Thursday at the Forks, crowds enjoyed some time outdoors, and some are considering all options to travel west later this year.
We are going into British Columbia to do the Great Divide Trail. We're flying there to Calgary and then going out to Waterton Lake. 7 weeks. We're doing 850 kilometers of walking.
Clayton Case and his wife Lisa are driving to a family wedding in Edmonton because flight costs are so uncertain.
If we fly, and actually we've done the math, the amount of gas it costs us is about equal to a flight. It just takes you one more day. It's going to be hard, isn't it? Yeah.
I'm just glad we don't travel a lot by air. We go away once a year. So we kind of save up for that. We've got the WestJet card, but other than that, most of our travel is by car.
Joseph Bernacki, CTV News, Winnipeg.
We have a traffic note to share with you this morning. A stalled vehicle is blocking the northbound middle lane on Kenniston at Grant. If you are experiencing delays, that's why. If you see anything else out on the streets, please send us a text. Here's a look now at your gas prices. In Winnipeg, the average is $1.65, higher than yesterday, and the lowest price in the city is $1.45 on 204 fuels and also on Kendall's. All this information is on GasBuddy.com.
The Price at the Pump is brought to you by the Kidney Foundation. Help by donating your card today.
Time now for your answers to our question of the day. Today is New Kids on the Block Day, so we asked, what's your favorite boy band? New Kids on the Block is Susan's favorite. Teresa says Backstreet Boys, Always and Forever. Favorite boy bands for Marlene would be the Beatles and the Rolling Stones. Caitlin likes Boy Throb. Lillian's favorite boy band is Backstreet Boys. Melody shared my favorite boy band is NSYNC, extremely talented. Phoebe and Felicity, we really like the first boy band, the Beatles. We love their music because my dad plays their music all the time. Backstreet Boys for Kathy. Today says my favorites are the Beatles, Backstreet Boys, and One Direction. Melanie's answer, my favorite boy band is the one and only true OGs, New Kids on the Block. And Sandy shared, it's hard to pinpoint one. However, my favorite boy band is the Doobie Brothers. Thanks for your responses.
Question of the day, brought to you by Provivo, Manitoba's #1 cool sculpting clinic, science-backed body contouring.
Let's go now to Tandy Vera, who's been hanging out at Rotorama throughout the morning, checking out some beautiful cars this morning. Hi, Tandy.
Hi, Rochelle. Yeah, we've been checking out some sweet rides, and I'm joined by Frasier, who'd like to say a quick shout out.
Well, first of all, I'd like to take this opportunity to thank CTV, all the staff, Rochelle, and all of Ainsley, everybody, Kenny, the cameraman, for taking care of us for all these years, and we truly appreciate all your support and all the community work that you do. It's fantastic.
Thank you, and we appreciate being here today. And in fact, we're in front of one of your vehicles. Can you chat a bit more about that?
This is my 1933 Chevy. It has a 500 cubic inch Cadillac engine in it. It's all custom done, Ford rear end. It's all it's a great classic hot rod. It's got air conditioning, cruise control. It's got all the things on it, and it's a great cruiser.
And for people who might not know, just quickly, could you chat about the brief history of the Rotorama?
Rotorama started actually as Wheels of the 21st Century, and then became Rotorama over time. Anyhow, so it was actually 27 years ago it started, but it's our 25th this year because of COVID. COVID changed the world, right? So that's why, so it's our 25th, and we're looking forward to having a great show, and lots of people come, free parking. You believe it? Free parking.
That's amazing. Free parking, such a bargain. And the proceeds also go to support kids with some sweet other rides.
That's right. If you look over my shoulder here, we have bikes. Those are custom made by a company called Freedom Concepts, and they make those bikes special for every individual child. And the cost of those bikes is approximately $5,000, but when you see those kids get that bike, I'm telling you, you're going to cry. It's just an overwhelming experience. And we thank Freedom Concepts, and we thank the Children's Rehabilitation Center for all the work they do and helping us make a great giveaway on Sunday afternoon.
That's amazing. And just quickly, it's on all weekend. Any more details?
It's on all weekend. Admission is $10, and if you bring a child under 14 accompanied by an adult, it's free for the kids.
That's amazing.
We have face painting, and we have pinball machines in the back for the kids, and so it should be a great family show.
That's amazing. So come on by and check out some sweet rides.
All right. Thank you, Tandy. Let's go out to the rooftop now. There's a little bit of a breeze out there, Terry.
Yeah, a little bit of a breeze now. That could become a full-out wind later on today, but we're getting used to those winds. They've been pretty intense so far this spring. At least we're seeing the sunshine back again, even though it has cooled down considerably from yesterday. So yesterday we woke up to 14 degrees. We were spoiled. That is actually a normal daytime high. A seasonal low would be around 1. We slipped just below that this morning to 0, but we're now at 3 degrees with still blue sky above, and it's looking pretty gorgeous out here. A bit of a breeze right now, 14 kilometers per hour out of the west-southwest. The pressure is rising, humidity sitting at 62%. Now, we will notice that wind likely increasing to about 50 wind gusts at times, but plenty of sunshine. Temperatures, they'll be on the rise, but staying slightly below seasonal. That's how we'll play out pretty much all weekend long, with sunshine and slightly cooler temperatures. And that's still a huge improvement over what northern Manitoba will deal with as that storm continues, with blizzard warnings for the far north, freezing rain warnings in northeastern Manitoba, and that winter storm watch still in effect throughout the northwest. All of that will continue on the more intense side today, tapering only slightly through Saturday, lingering into Sunday before it's finally out of your neck of the woods. We're taking a break right now, but we'll be back with Your Morning Winnipeg.
Weather is brought to you by Blinds Are Beautiful. Our new Hunter Douglas showroom is at 900 Lorimer.
Have a news tip? When you see news happening, let CTV News Winnipeg know. Text your tips, pictures, and videos to 10400. That's 10400. Message and data rates may apply.
A drug that was touted in the early fight against COVID is being re-examined by Canadian researchers now. We get the details from CTV's Pauline Chan.
Paxlovid is an antiviral that was funded by Canadian authorities early in the COVID-19 pandemic.
Seemed to reduce death and hospitalization in a mostly unvaccinated kind of population, and also with people who were a bit higher risk.
But now with most Canadians vaccinated at least once,
we did this to really see, is this medication having the same impact now in a much more vaccinated population, also people who have had developed some natural immunity by getting infected themselves. And really what we found in this was that it didn't have an impact on hospitalizations and death, although it did find that that people actually recovered a little bit earlier when they took this medication.
Dr. Andrew Pinto says cost is a big factor in assessing Paxlovid's future role.
Retail, it's about $1,400, which is a very expensive amount for an infection, which most people have a short-term illness from and then recover.
But the role of vaccines is somewhat unclear. We don't know exactly how long their protective strength lasts. Uptake has slowed dramatically, plus the virus is still mutating. Paxlovid continues to be covered with different criteria in each province.
In Ontario, if you meet the criteria, which are, for example, people who are 65 and older, who have a test that which can be a rapid antigen test or a PCR test that shows that you have COVID.
But with little evidence now of it reducing hospitalizations or deaths.
This will be something that the Ministry of Health makes a decision. They'll look at all of the evidence carefully and decide kind of, is this a good use of public funding?
It could be that funding is reserved for only those at the highest risk. Pauline Chan, CTV News.
For the past 4 years, Collège Béliveau students have been tasked to create kiosks to celebrate their cultures. The gymnasium of the school is then filled with information about a culture's food, clothing, artifacts, and even dances. The event is called Culturama, and this year, almost 30 booths involving 100 students will be displayed in the gym. And joining us now are two students from Collège Béliveau's Culturama event, Talia Leitao and Simone Anaban. Good morning to both of you.
Good morning.
Thank you so much. Now, you're a grade 12 student, you're a grade 10 student. Culturama is a big deal at your school. Tell us what it's all about.
So Culturama is all about just sharing our cultures with everybody in our school. You see, when I was in grade 9, we started it because students felt that they didn't have enough knowledge about other cultures and even about their own culture. Yeah. So we started it in a half gym. I was one of the OG members, and now we have so many people who want to participate and so many cultures represented that we have no more space in the gym, and we're going into the CAF now.
That is amazing. Yeah. And every year the kiosks get a little bit more and more dramatic, I take it. Okay.
Totally.
So what does it mean to you to be able to speak about your culture, to share your culture, Simone?
I think it means a lot to me because with my culture specifically, I think Filipinos typically are very proud of it. I have one of the biggest booths, and we're so excited. Setup started like about 3 weeks ago. We have so much to share, and I'm just excited to have people, come in, try stuff, learn new things about us.
Okay, and what's really great is you're able to share your culture with other students, and they're asking good questions, right? Tell us about some of the responses you've been getting.
They totally are asking good questions. Like, for example, I'm half Indian, half Trinidadian, and people are like, well, where is Trinidad? So I get the opportunity to tell them about Trinidad. It's in the Caribbean, it's a small island, and I get the opportunity to just show a part of my culture that people don't necessarily see when just looking at me.
Right, okay, so you brought a lot of great stuff here. Tell us a little bit about what we're seeing and what we're celebrating.
Okay, so here I have the Trinidad flag, and then I have sort of a map over here. My family is from San Fernando down there.
Right here?
Yes. And then here I have some,
See that? So San Fernando is where?
It's right here. There's a star.
Perfect.
Yeah, it's right over there.
Beautiful.
And then I have just coasters and keychains.
And people can touch
some of the things we're allowed to touch. We prefer to ask students to ask before they touch.
Yeah,
and even before they take food. Like, you know, some students come around, they grab food and they leave. And we don't want that to be what happens.
No
so
kidding.
we sort of devised a system where students have to ask a question or answer a question, and then they're allowed to have food. And that way that promotes the learning.
Absolutely. And
yes.
so, for example, this would be food that they would have access to. And what is this? This is desserts?
Yeah, these are Indian sweets.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what makes them so special for you, even as a child growing up?
Yeah, I've had Indian sweets and Trinidadian sweets all the time. Specifically when I go to my grandma's house. We don't tend to have them around the house. But it's just like a special treat for me whenever I hang out with them or I go to their house.
It's amazing. Simone, you're wearing part of your culture right now. This is a traditional garb, and it's actually quite old, right? Tell us about this piece.
So this came from my cousin's grandma, so it's not from my side of the family. But it's really beautiful. I actually had to fish it up yesterday, try and find something to wear for today.
And then you brought the traditional shirt men would wear as well.
Yes, yes.
Tell us a little bit about what the significance of this in your culture.
So in my culture, this is typically worn for special events like weddings and stuff like that.
And what's the plate we're seeing in front? We're almost out of time already. What is that we're seeing there?
So here it's called mankel, I think, but it's called sungkat in the Philippines. It's played the same way typically. But yeah, it's a childhood game. I grew up playing it. My mom grew up playing it.
It's a game.
Yeah.
Okay, very cool. Again, Culturama starts when at Collège Béliveau?
It's April 30th.
Okay.
Yes.
Thanks for sharing this with us. And if you want more information, we have a link on our website.
Very cool. All right, outside this morning, 3 degrees. The sun is shining. What a great way to kick off your Friday morning. There is a bit of a breeze. It's out of the west-southwest, 14 kilometers per hour. The pressure is rising and the humidity sitting at 62%. Yeah, Friday morning, the sun is shining. It's looking good, at least here in the south. I wish I could say the same about northern Manitoba. The worst news that could be coming your way started, of course, yesterday, continues through the day with that storm raging across the north. Still under the blizzard warnings in the most northern stretch, the freezing rain warnings for the northeast, winter storm watch in effect around the Flin-Flon area. All of that to continue throughout the day today, starting to taper off Saturday, but still kind of lingering into Sunday. Meanwhile, for southern Manitoba, beautiful sunny conditions, just a little bit cooler than seasonal. And then Monday kicking off next week with some showers before we're seeing that sunshine back again. We're taking a break, but we too will be back again with your Morning Winnipeg.
Rooftop arrangements provided by Lacoste Garden Center. Salon services provided by Essentique Spa Salon.
Well, we're going to send you off into the weekend with some fun video. This next baby is getting a sneak peek at what the future may look like.
Somebody get her beer. Get her a beer.
The little one's mom is holding her up so she can check out the party happening at the house next door. Dad decides to hold up the family's fur baby so they can see what's happening too. When some of the partygoers notice, they start waving and cheering. Should have just invited them over.
Right?
Now to a dad who enters a dance competition. This is Ryan. He was refusing to get up there, but he just couldn't say no to his sweet 12-year-old daughter. And he smashed it. Look at him go. Oh, yeah, he's got the moves.
Okay, there was some training behind that.
There. And one person's trash is another dog's treasure.
Oh, buddy, it's not a ball. Gotta go, buddy.
His favorite thing is playing with a ball. He spotted this crumpled piece of aluminum foil and fell in love. Chester couldn't stop looking at it and didn't want to leave it alone. He just laid down beside it and refused to move. I bet you there's a smell of barbecue in that ball of foil. That does it for us. Have a great weekend. We'll see you Monday.